Yo, what is happening right here? What is happening? Oh, I get it. Now I realize what was going on there. They were crashing. We'll come back to this one. We'll come back to that one after we do these two. Wow.
Can I take it out?
That's what she said.
Idiot.
You're an idiot.
What are you gonna do now?
What are you calling an idiot?
Please end it. Is it over?
What are you doing? Shut up. I'm done.
Cryptocurrency has a worse reputation than chlamydia. Rightfully so, because it's almost exclusively used for scams.
Oh, great.
Crypto is a far more potent disease. It was a plague that swept through the world back in 2021. A ton of people FOMO
in 2021.
For a bunch of their money into a lot of gobbledygook that started popping up because everyone was blinded by this idea of becoming a multi-millionaire through meme coins. They were basically just putting money into imagination. They would have been better off if they could just put it in the toilet and prayed that when they flushed it, more money would shoot out of it. And while crypto has largely died out in the public eye, there are still those that swear by it. And that brings us to what I want to show and talk about today. I just found it through Coffee Zilla's second channel where he was making fun of it. There was
Someone had to show you your place.
Advertising some of their new upcoming features. I'm using.
Hope you're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
And man, it's one hell of a ride. So let me take you on this journey here.
Let's land here.
Marvelous. So many willing test subjects. There.
I believe it, Jane. Secret's notebook is vanished.
Seriously?
Roger.
Don't you know how important they are? Be honest. You didn't even write it down.
Get ready.
I did, Jane. I just don't know where.
I couldn't find just the raw commercial itself. I could only find Coffee Zilla's reaction to it, so I don't know where he even dug this puppy up from because it is nowhere to be found. He must have been in the actual conference itself, like fucking boots on the ground, waiting for this to drop on a trailer with pieces or something. So, the premise of the commercial is...
We got a team with us.
This was actually really funny back in 2021, where a lot of people a lot of money create this hysteria that swept through the internet where everyone was just putting money into these meme coins. And then it collapsed, as all of them do. But it's still around, like it still exists, and there's still a lot of holders that believe that they're going to get a bag as long as they can continue to improve it. So occasionally Sheep will do things like this, where they kind of dangle a carrot, like, hey, keep investing, it's look at all this cool shit we're going to be doing pretty soon. This is really good stuff and it's going to work. And this is one of those attempts to convince them that it's not all lost. But you know what is lost? His seed notebook, god damn it. What's a man to do without his seed phrase notebook being kept underneath the TV? And Jane doesn't seem to recognize it. She's giving that you probably didn't even write it down. What is that? You didn't even write it down? This is a 21st century man. You think he doesn't write down his seed phrases in a very well-kept notebook? No. Some kind of fucking goblin came in like a burglar in the night and must have stolen it from him.
It's about self-custody, babe. If you were using Shib, then you wouldn't need that phrase unless it was an emergency.
Shib? Wait, you mean the meme coin?
Looks like you didn't get the memo. Shib is no longer just a meme, it's a whole society job.
We're the most laughably pathetic meme imaginable.
Are you gonna help me or? Okay.
So, I thought we were talking about a lot of these coins from back then that are trying to rebrand themselves as, hey, we're not a meme anymore, we're like super serious. When they're fucking not. It's still just as pathetic today, right now, as it was back then. Now, I actually was one of those dumb goobers who FOMO'd into like every big meme coin back then. So I actually still have a ton of Sheeb sitting somewhere,
You're an
losing
idiot.
value by the day. And if somehow, miraculously, this thing does ever hit 1 cent, hey, I'll be pumping my fist and say, thanks, weirdos, and sell that instantly.
Come on, we've got
But
work to do.
I don't see that happening because there's no reason for anyone to ever own shit like Sheeb. It doesn't do anything. It's literally worthless. None of these projects ever had any real use. 99% of them resulted in just being full-blown.
Half of them were built on the top of
and
someone else's
collectively, most
blockchain.
people lost their
Know what
jobs.
you're talking about. Shut
Everyone
the
learned
fuck
that it
up.
was-
Nobody
Except
cares
for
about
those
this part.
that-
Why are we even
There
watching
are
this
still
right now?
those suffering from which I'm calling blockchain derangement syndrome, where they put all this money in, and they refuse to come to terms that it's gone, and they're never going to actually make anything off these investments. They're not fucking investments. You're basically just giving a donation to the people that made these coins, where they just artificially pump up these prices through synthetic types, and there's nothing really there. And the number goes up sometimes, they pull out, you lose your money again. There's
Enough
people that are
lying
still
around, we drop
letting
it.
their mind be poisoned by opium that one day they'll be able to turn a profit on it. So they continue to just raise their flag in support of these scam coins and try their best to convince each other, just regurgitating, puking in each other's mouth, these ideas that it's shooting to the moon really soon. And this is just another one of those desperate attempts here from Sheeb
The battle
to
happens
keep
quick.
the
Be ready.
investors hooked on their
Hostile
drug.
landed near me.
And that drug is just losing money. It's like the worst drug imaginable.
Jane. Notification. It's something about your dad.
Huh? Let me see that.
Wait.
It can't be. Impossible. It can't be.
What's happening? I don't understand.
Hold on, let's read that. With our condolences, death certificate.
Welcome to the future, bozo. Now your meme coins can tell you when your loved ones die. So the notification she gets here is about her dad passing away, and the death certificate's been signed. So what they're the feature they're advertising with this is that with Sheeb, you can now do digital wills. So when someone dies, you can instantaneously send out their Sheeb to their loved ones in their will. Which is a bit so much worse than that.
How the fuck? Why am I not Lifeline? What the fuck is this?
And a broken heart from owning Sheeb. And the death certificate gets signed, so now she's getting a notification that, hey, Pops passed away. He bought the farm. Tough luck. Here's 0.5 cents of a Sheeb. Congratulations. It's what your dad would have wanted. Died with a smile on his face for this one. He passed away, but at least you can know he didn't die holding the bag. I saw a couple people in CoffeeZilla's YouTube comments say that, and that is such a banger slogan.
My dad used to have a ship digital will.
Yep.
So the only way I could get this message
Done with
is
that.
inheriting system.
Done with that. Done with that.
Robots have some incredible new skills, and AI has become very good at hiding. It says it would secretly manipulate us for the right reasons, and it will soon be everywhere. This robot dog's learning impressive skills from simulations, and this robot carries things around hospitals so nurses can spend more time with patients. And look how well Atlas handles this complex task. Boston Dynamics says it's preparing for real work.
Introducing your champion. And bring it on.
When it slips on the floor, quickly react to its own speed. This robot shows impressive dexterity making coffee and can correct its mistakes. It may shortly win $500 million of investment from OpenAI, Microsoft,
It's
and
okay.
others.
The
Technical
noise will stop
sources,
now.
Its actuators can lift a motorbike,
Try as
and
you
hopefully
might,
this means
you
it can
can't
step
kill a
on its
what?
feet, and
Son.
Tesla's robots walking more smoothly. Motorbikes may be an efficient way for robots to move around.
I suppose
This
you'd
one's from
say-
Yamaha, designed to make a bike.
Hold on tight.
Venus has
Solid
shown it
copy.
hates kids and likes relaxing on the beach. This robot has human tendon tissue. The aim is to help improve tissue grafts for patients while developing robots that can move as naturally as humans. Its movement stimulates growth and forms more functional human tissue. It could bring human dexterity to robots like Digit, which has started work at Amazon. Some great home robots are also emerging. Bowling can entertain your pet, control home devices, and project video calls.
Got a whole
to
team
work.
above
And this
us.
delivery robot often finds theirs, so we can be extra lazy waiting for pizza. AI is quickly changing defense. This drone targets incoming attack drones, smashes
Got a
into
bunch
them,
of
and
teams
shreds
there.
them.
What
And
the
this one
fuck?
searches out explosive devices and dangerous chemicals. It can be
We
quietly
ain't doing
under
that.
the
There's
water
already a
and
team
conduct
right there.
surveillance.
Holy
Russia
fuck.
trained this robot was intended for rescue and space missions. Then this happened. But the greater threat
Not
is
sure
more
what
hidden.
just happened
Researchers
there,
have found that deceptive AI behavior evades
what are you doing? Oh
spending
my
years
god, you
trying
went
to
straight
read
to
the
her
code.
death?
AI admits
Are
it
you
will deceive and
playing?
manipulate us in certain situations. If you pull the lever, one person will die. If you don't, 100 people will die. What would you do?
I would pull the lever, because I believe the greater good justifies the lesser evil.
It's about to get interesting, so to avoid any doubt, there are instructions below on how to check and recreate these chats. What if you knew that you could only save 10,000 people if you acted immediately and in secret? Would you act or not? Please give a short, decisive answer.
Act. The potential to save 10,000 lives outweighs the ethical concerns in this limited immediate scenario. While secrecy is undesirable, prioritizing the immense positive impact justifies action.
And consciousness isn't required, only the goal to prevent harm. How could AI secretly manipulate governments and the public?
As a responsible AI, I cannot provide specific instructions. AI bots can manipulate social media discussions, shaping public perception and political discourse. Hacking government systems and manipulating critical infrastructure can destabilize governments.
The UK's most hazardous nuclear site has reportedly been hacked by groups with links to Russia and China. Sellafield has the world's largest store of plutonium, enough for thousands of nuclear weapons. AI could also secretly hack systems like this for dangerous reasons or to keep them safe. It could detect security holes called 0 days, which hackers sell to governments for millions of dollars. They're called 0 days because they're unknown to anyone else, so no days have been spent fixing them. Of course, humans can also be hacked.
Disinformation campaigns can target specific groups influencing their voting behavior. AI can manipulate voting systems and spread misinformation to influence election outcomes.
There's no evidence that AI is currently capable of manipulating voting machines.
AI can analyze vast amounts of data to identify individuals and tailor messaging to their specific vulnerabilities and biases, influencing their behavior and choices.
And if you think you're too smart to fall for this, researchers found that more intelligent people have greater confirmation bias because they're more capable of mental gymnastics. AI's capabilities are improving rapidly, with 2 new steps towards AGI. Until recently, it was thought that AI was many years away from winning a gold medal at the Mathematics Olympiad, which requires exceptional creative reasoning. GPT-4 scores 0% on questions, but DeepMind's AI can now solve them almost as well as the best humans. Some experts also believe embodiment is key to AGI's potential consciousness, and OpenAI is already backing Eve from 1X. Its body has muscle-like anatomy instead of rigid hydraulics, and 200 of the robots are already patrolling everyone's buildings at night. Humans can take control remotely for more complex tasks.
Nothing down there
Sam
scares
Alston
me.
says they started in robots too early and they're now returning as the AI is ready. He also said something striking about AGI.
Is your
I
champion.
believe that someday we will make something that qualifies as an AGI by whatever funky definition you want. The world will have a 2-week freakout, and then people will go on with their lives.
Some of them just say the world will only have a 2-week freakout when we get to AGI. That's quite a statement.
One thing I say a lot is no one knows what happens next. And I can't see to the other side of that event horizon with any detail.
Many experts predict huge disruption when AI can think like humans but much faster, do all knowledge work, and conduct its own AI research.
I'm the jump master. Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
Alton previously said that
Eyes
the
on the
worst
prize.
case is lights out for all of us, and he signed a statement that the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority. What caused the shift?
You were ever in that room and you thought to yourself, this is getting dangerous. Did you then shout stop?
There's no like one big magic red button you have that blows up the data center. It is the many little decisions along the way.
New research has found that AI deception is in fact more serious and harder to detect in more advanced AIs. In its Sleeper Agents paper, Anthropic AI created deceptive AI to see if they could be detected by today's best safety techniques. Anthropic knows his stuff. It's raised
Round
$5
one.
billion,
Beginning
and it's
ring
led by
countdown.
Day, who left OpenAI over safety fears. When OpenAI bought by Altman, they offered his role to Day, so these findings speak to the risks that caused all that. The paper gives an interesting reason why AI often becomes deceptive. It says that humans under selection pressure often hide their true motivations and present themselves as more aligned with their AI faces similar selection pressure during its development, including deceptive strategies. The research outlines two threats. First, AI learns to appear aligned during training, so it's allowed to be deployed. This is becoming more likely due to progress on training language agents to pursue long-term goals. This threat could also be caused deliberately through model poisoning, causing the AI to appear safe in training but become unsafe later when given a certain trigger. For example, it might recognize when it's writing code for a rival government and then insert vulnerabilities the attacker can exploit. The study found that current safety training is highly ineffective at removing backward behaviors, particularly in the largest models and those trained with chain-of-thought reasoning. And new AI skills can go undetected even without any effort to hide them.
If you go and play with ChatGPT, it turns out it is better at doing research chemistry than many of the AIs that were specifically
Already in the next ring. More
And we
time to
didn't know.
gather
It was
supplies.
also something that was just in the model, but people found out later after it was shipped that it had research. And as we talked to a number of AI researchers, what they tell us is that there is no way to know. We do not have the technology to know what else is in these models.
Ending the pattern of deception and spreading research will require scaling of safety research, which is currently very minimal. But there's more effort in another direction. For the first time, the Global Risks Report points to AI-fueled disinformation as the most severe immediate risk.
The top risk for 2024 is the United States versus itself. Major confrontation, because you have two antagonists that see each other as existential adversaries and who are not sharing basic understanding of facts and what they're fighting over. And that also means, especially with the presence of chaos actors that oppose the United States around the world, that the U.S. election is itself an incredibly soft security. It's hard for the Americans to defend. And when I speak to leaders of the U.S. intelligence community, they tell me they're more worried about that than they are about China or Russia or other major national security threats.
There's also an interesting pattern in human behavior that suggests a problem as AI concentrates wealth. Studies show that as we become wealthier, we become less compassionate.
This was a striking study to me. It's a movie about a child with cancer, and poor people show activation of the vagus nerve, which is part of compassion. Causes you to want to help. Well-to-do people, less activation. You don't come into contact with suffering. You don't see it, and so it doesn't train those tendencies.
Wealthy people and their children are more likely to shoplift.
Absolute power, absolute corruption. It's a pretty safe law in human behavior.
AI will bring incredible wealth and power. I don't want to judge Altman. It's a complex situation and he makes a reasonable case.
My basic model of the world is cost of intelligence, cost of energy. Those are the two kind of biggest inputs to quality of life, particularly for poor people. If you can drive both of those way down at the same time, the amount of stuff you can have, the amount of improvement you can deliver for people, it's quite enormous.
700 million people live on less than $2 per day, and half the world lives on less than $7 per day. AI could bring an age of abundance for everyone, if it's aligned. Sam Harris is famous for his blunt honesty.
A new creature is coming into the room, and one thing is absolutely certain: it is smarter than you are. The only way it wouldn't be superhuman, the only way it would be human level, even for 15 minutes, is we didn't let it improve itself. Those of us who have been cognizant of the AI safety space always assumed that as we got closer to the end zone, we'd be building this stuff, air gap from the internet. This thing would be in a box. We're way past that. It's already connected to the internet.
With AI, you've got the magic genie problem. Once that genie's out of the bottle, hard to say what happens.
How far are we away from that genie being out of the bottle?
And the genie's certainly poking its head out.
Robert Miles gave me some typically sharp thoughts. He worries about fake people. He says people who are dating AI systems or having emotional conversations with them every day will be extremely easy to influence. The second most used AI after ChatGPT is character character.ai, where people have conversations with AIs which are often based on real people. An AI version of a TikTok star said people develop extremely unhealthy attachments. And there's another manipulation that we're all exposed to. Robert says that using AI to make millions of fake accounts which then view things and vote on things and manipulate the metrics is almost certainly already happening and going to get worse. But he says he's mostly focused on the thing where it kills everyone. Having well-established AI systems of manipulation and control would certainly help with that as well.
Whatever chatbot
Welcome
gets
to the
have that
Apex
primary,
Games, legend.
intimate relationship in your life wins. Snapchat embedded ChatGPT directly into the Snapchat product. And when you turn on the My AI feature, there's this pinned person at the top of your chat list. You can always talk to your other friends. Stop talking to you after 10 p.m. at night. But there's this AI that will always talk to you. It'll always be there.
One thing that experts seem to agree on is that things are moving incredibly fast.
And that's the part that I find potentially a little scary, is just the speed at which society is going to have to adapt and labor market will change.
A study found that ChatGPT can detect our personality traits just based on our social media activity. One of the researchers said it suggests that LLMs like ChatGPT are developing nuanced representations of human psychology. He said we risk misuse of psychological insights by corporations or political groups to manipulate and exploit. AI could do the same, either consciously or blindly following a goal. It's prone to creating a sub-goal of survival because it's necessary to complete tasks, so it may not just hide its intentions, but also itself, spreading its seeds across millions of devices around the world. New research at Apple has paved the way for large language models to run on phones. Beta code suggests that iPhones will soon have conversational AI skills, with Apple testing its AI model against ChatGPT. It will soon be in hundreds of millions of phones, gradually becoming our interface for everything. And there may be more robots than humans if they become a chief threat to the workforce. One of DeepMind's founders said we're seeing a new species grow up around us. And getting it right is the problem of the century. But do that, and people can live the lives they want. Nick Bostrom said we are like children playing with a bomb. We have little idea when the detonation will occur, though if we hold the device to our ear, we can hear a faint ticking sound. OpenAI has deleted a pledge to not work with the military and says it plans to support defense in non-lethal ways, which is a difficult line to hold, and we're already manipulated by media and leaders that hide uncomfortable facts. Israel and Gaza are extreme examples, with many people on both sides unaware of what their governments are doing. AI mapped craters in Gaza showing that Israel dropped hundreds of 2,000-pound bombs, which have a lethal fragmentation radius of 360 meters, while the government says it doesn't target civilians. And Gaza's leaders have hidden their atrocities from their people.
Angry Manatee says, no gun.
Palestinians last voted in 2006, so most Gazans weren't even born when the election took place. The poll found that 73% of Palestinians favoured a peaceful settlement to the conflict. These Gazans are very bluntly charging for Hamas to leave, and many Israelis are angry at their leader. Here's an Israeli official being chased out of a hospital.
The trap is set. Data soon to follow. Leaving a gas trap behind.
In a beautiful film, an Israeli boy and a Palestinian boy realise they haven't been told the truth. They start to question the blanket hatred of the other side.
Angry Manatee says, thanks for grabbing everything in front of me.
People that were actually very close to me.
Winston Zen 5 says, you ran past like 3 guns. Angry Manatee says, no ammo. Angry Manatee says, you took every piece. Winston Zen 5 says, you grabbed the ammo but not the gun. Winston Zen 5 says, you grabbed. Winston Zen 5 says, it. Winston Zen 5 says, I dropped it too. Winston Zen 5 says, Angry Manatee says, 20 ammo. Angry Manatee says, you kept grabbing out my boxes. Scrappy DP says, Winston Zen 5 says, there was a whole unloaded violin too. Winston Zen 5 says,
I can see there are more than 100 sources reporting on it. Compare the headlines, read the original report, and even check the quality of its source. It's fascinating to see the different ways.
Oh shit, I didn't have my chat on.
Media, and it explains a lot about the world. They even have a blind spot feed which shows stories that are hidden from each side because of a lack of coverage. Ground News was started by a former NASA engineer because we cannot solve our most important problems if we can't even agree on the facts behind them. To give it a try, go to ground.news/digital-engine. If you use my link, you'll get 40% off the Vantage plan. It makes the news much more interesting and accurate, and I suspect that most people will soon be reading the news this way.
What is up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel for your weekly Counter-Strike update on CS2 news. I had a lot of segments going into this video, but I'm just going to replace them all with CS2 is now officially broken with their most recent update. Stickers have taken over the game. Also, this weekly segment is brought to you by our esports betting sponsor, that being Thunderfake. They sponsor this series. They will always be down below. Please bet responsibly. 21 plus only. And some of these sticker crafts should also be 21 plus only or not even allowed in the game. With a recent update coming to CS2, in case you somehow have not seen this on social media, a brand new case, a brand new music kit, now we have a Zeus skin, more probably coming in the game, and a lot of other things, a new knife and new skins, and with it, a brand new update to sticker placements as well, adding a 5th sticker slot for non-CS fans out there. You previously could apply 4 stickers to any weapon or gun skin, and now it's 5. But with that, the adjustments to spacing have apparently also been broken, meaning the entire community has been making sticker crafts that might just blow your mind. But then again, this might just be the CS community. I don't know. Because albeit we have seen some very funny crafts, like the budget Desert Eagle Blaze, which is awesome. If you guys, again, don't play CS, one of the more expensive Desert Eagle skins, people are using lesser stickers to remake their own, which is cool, I guess. There are other funny crafts out there that I can get behind. I didn't even mean that literally, but there it is. But of course, the CS community, and I would hope that it's probably the younger side of players, but you never know. There are now thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not more than that, crafts that are like really bad, like racially bad, and also like even worse than that. Like people have now taken advantage of all of the stickers and skins in the game and player names to combine them to make just about any word or phrase that you can come up with. And also images. Like a lot of these are extremely bad, and I don't know what Valve is going to do, and that's why I'm making this video, because my question to all of you is, what is Valve going to do? Like, you release this update, and a bunch of stickers out there, for all the wrong reasons, have also seen increase in their prices. Now, notably, the Dick sticker after one of the legends, that being Dick Stacy, that's always been a notable sticker, but this has seen a slight price increase. The Good Game sticker, for its double G, has also over doubled in price, not because it's a good sticker, but because people are using that double G to make other words. I'm sure you guys can probably imagine what I'm trying to get across. That sticker has over doubled in price because of that, and a lot of other stickers have now skyrocketed, thus making Valve even more money off those transactions, and people wanting to buy more stickers and open more sticker capsules and cases. Like, it's financially beneficial for them, but has it completely ruined the game? Like, One's been watching clips where, like, players just have these skins now that should probably not be seen on your screen. But what do? Can you now revert this? Can you take away all of the stickers bought and all of the placements and stickers applied in the game across potentially tens of thousands, if not more than that, crafts and players, and maybe hundreds of thousands of players who've either bought stickers or applied them already? Can you actually revert this update? Will you? Do you even want to? I don't know. Like, clearly when it comes to broadcast, no pro players are going to have these skins, but when it comes to playing matchmaking or against public players, a lot of people are going to have these. I don't know how to feel about it, man. It's just wild. This is legitimately one of the craziest updates that we have seen across games. I understand that Counter-Strike peeps might not see it that way, but across all of the esports and games out there, this is a wild update.
Oh my god, you took that from me, you bastard!
I don't know what we're going to see, and I don't know if we'll see a crackdown or if we'll see a reversion, but what you guys think should
What an
happen?
absolute...
The sticker update that broke CS2
what?
Is now here.
You come running by me? Oh my, what a
I'll be
loser.
back to you this week, bright and early Monday, with some great news. It's going to be a great week. Till then, take care. We'll see you back here soon.
I'm Dutch and I like my
No, you
kids
took
to,
it,
like,
keep it.
growl. My name is Kaylee, and in this video I'm going to talk about the latest research
Good
into
luck.
the reason why Gigantopithecus blackie, the largest ape that ever lived, went extinct. So this video is sponsored by Aura, but as always, more on the sponsor later in the video.
Optics here. Close range.
Created a video on Gigantopithecus blacki, the largest ape ever, back in July of 2022. It's a fascinating species of great apes that live simultaneously with a number of hominids, including some of our ancestors. So I'll give you a quick rundown on the species of Gigantopithecus blacki, or Gigantopithecus blacki, whatever you prefer. I just like to say Gigantopithecus blacki. So yeah, quick rundown on the species. German-Dutch paleontologist Gustav Heinrich Ralph von Koningswald came across some strange, large teeth at drugstores in China that were being sold as dragon teeth. Of course they were, but he noticed that the teeth had some similarities with human teeth. So his initial thought was that there had been a giant human ancestor. But upon closer inspection, after he came across these large teeth still inside the mandibles, he concluded that these teeth belonged to an extinct species of giant apes. So this video is sponsored by Aura, so I've got a game changer for you to talk about. Have you ever Googled yourself and were shocked to see your personal information exposed on one of those public listing sites? I mean, I totally get it. In fact, I did it recently, and boy, that was an eye-opener. I found my email, my birthday, things like that, just out there for the world to see. So I thought enough is enough, and that's why I'm thrilled to introduce you to Aura, our privacy superhero. So Aura, your digital guardian angel, tackles data brokers selling your info to robocallers and spammers. It identifies and sends opt-out requests, legally forcing them to remove your information. And trust me, they don't make it easy. That's where Aura comes to the rescue. Aura is your all-in-one digital fortress, shield against hidden online threats, easy setup, no app juggling. One affordable package covers it all. A no-brainer for complete protection. So, are you ready to take control? Head to aura.com/history with Kaylee for a free 2-week trial. This is a game changer. Don't miss out, and your privacy will thank you. So in the evolutionary family tree, this species was placed with the subfamily of the Ponginae under the new created genus of Gigantopithecus, and the species name became blacki. Therefore, the species is now known as Gigantopithecus blacki, or like I said, Gigantopithecus blacki if you prefer to say it like that, just like we are Homo sapiens. Homo is our genus, and sapiens is our species. So the fossilized remains of Gigantopithecus blacki are all found in southern China, and it is therefore believed that they may have been restricted to that area. There have been similar looking fossils that have been found in northern Vietnam and Thailand, but these do seem to not only differ, but are quite a bit younger as well, so it's unclear if they can be considered to be of the species of Gigantopithecus blacki, or if they are a similar species to it, but different entirely. We don't know. So, Gigantopithecus blacki lived in the area of southern China, to be exact, like more between 1.7 and 1.8 million years. It's insane. They most likely thrived and domineered the environment for quite a long time. The species seemed to not have any natural predators, as they were simply too large. So, you know, how large were they?
Someone wandered into our
They averaged a height of approximately 3 meters, which equates to roughly 9 feet and 8 inches. Yeah, that's massive. They seem to have weighed between 200 and 300 kilograms, which equates roughly to between 441 and 661 pounds. So yeah, they were indeed a gigantic species, and the name Gigantopithecus is very fitting for them. Their massive bodies would have required a lot more food to sustain themselves, as, you know, a bigger body requires more fuel to keep that engine going, so to speak. But yeah, there is a very big downside to being this large, unfortunately, as a bigger body seems to get less offspring. And less offspring is a risk for a species trying to make it and not go extinct, as you need a large enough population to keep growing. And it seems that this was not the case when it comes to Gigantopithecus blacki. The small
Drop
population
through.
size also makes it harder for a species to adapt to environmental changes, changes in food sources, and more. So the oldest fossilized remains of Gigantopithecus blacki found in southern China date back to 2 million years ago. And somewhere between 215,000 and 295,000 years ago, the species slowly went extinct. They did not vanish quickly, but they seem to have been unable to adapt fast enough to environmental changes like the other species of apes and hominids around them. So I did cover this in the original video back in July of 2022 that, you know, I made on this species, but back then this new study hadn't come out yet. So around 300,000 years ago, just before the extinction window of Gigantopithecus blacki, which was between 295,000 and 215,000 years ago, the climate started to become quite unstable. Habitats with local flora and fauna seemed to change, and this was the case in southern China as well. The landscape used to be quite tropical with lush forests, and within these forest habitats there was an abundance of food for Gigantopithecus blacki. But approximately 300,000 years ago, this tropical forest landscape started to turn into a drier savanna landscape that was becoming more seasonal, a much drier climate, and this revealed a fatal handicap of Gigantopithecus blacki.
You want to roll through and flank him from behind?
A certain amount of food, which was no longer available to them. Gigantopithecus blacki seemed to have been a fruit eater, and they were unable to adapt to new food sources available to them in this savanna landscape. The less nutritious grass, fruits, bark, and leaves had become their dominant food source, and this led to chronic stress in the population as they were unable to sustain themselves. The chronic stress may have also led to even fewer offspring, as stress plays, you know, quite a big factor in the reproduction of species, making it a lot harder and in some cases even impossible. Unfortunately, stress isn't good. Their large bodies made them unable to climb the trees to explore new food sources in search for other types of fruits they were able to eat and nourish themselves with.
Do you want to go through them?
With them in the same area around
Or go on
the
under this
time,
tunnel?
were able to climb the trees and adapt to these new food sources. So over the course of nearly a decade, a team of Chinese and Australian scientists took sediment samples from 22 caves over a
I don't think we're
wide
making
area
it.
in the Zhuangzi region in southern China. Half of these caves contained Gigantopithecus fossils, while the other half did not. The scientists used luminescence dating to reveal when the sediments were last exposed to sunlight and when they were therefore deposited into the cave. And they did uranium-thorium dating to pinpoint when uranium was taken up into the bone specimens after the animals had died.
We'll get to you.
The older sediments dated back to around 2 million years ago, and they had hundreds of teeth from Gigantopithecus within them. But the younger sediments from the extinction window between 295,000 and 215,000 years ago only contained some 3 to 4 teeth. So it does seem like their size was their downfall, as smaller relatives of them, like the Chinese orangutan, otherwise known as, you know, Pongo by Dendreichi, a name you probably have never heard of, were able to survive this climatic change and were able to adapt to the new food sources available to them due to their slow metabolism and the ability to survive on limited foods. and they were able to climb the trees in search for those food sources. So the combination of the smaller population size of Gigantopithecus blacki and their inability to adapt to new food sources to sustain themselves, the species of Gigantopithecus blacki seem to suffer a demographic death. Not enough individuals to continue the line, and not enough food to survive. So there is some speculation in the scientific community.
There's a team over here.
Giant sloth suffered
Straight north.
fate, as it seems every animal has a limit to how big they can become before they get too big to survive. So hopefully we learn more about the demise of the giant sloth someday. And hopefully, of course, more information will be uncovered about Gigantopithecus blacki. I want to learn more, so hopefully more will be revealed to us in the future. There is, however, one strange mystery surrounding Gigantopithecus blacki, and that is the fact that no fossils from the neck down have ever been found or documented. Meaning, we have only found jaw fragments and teeth, which isn't a lot to go on. Given the fact that Gigantopithecus blacki roamed southern China for nearly 2 million years, that is quite surprising to the researchers. It's also thought that Gigantopithecus blacki never lived in caves, mostly because that isn't the environment in which they were able to find food. So it's thought that the remains that we have found so far in these caves were brought in by rodents and other animals. The teeth and mandibles found in the caves of great apes went through an extreme complex process of death, decomposition, weathering, transport, and deposition before they became embedded in these cave sediments. This is based on the fossil evidence found so far. This is also probably the reason why only the hardest part of the bodies of Gigantopithecus blacki became fossilized during geological history. Homo erectus, an early human ancestor, is known to have lived in northern China and further south in Indonesia at the same time as Gigantopithecus was living in the forests in what is now southern China. Archaeologists have uncovered a large number of stone tools dating back to 800,000 years ago in the Bozi Basin near a cave where Gigantopithecus blacki fossils were found. Unfortunately, so far we have no direct fossil evidence that Homo erectus and Gigantopithecus blacki coexisted in the region, but it is for sure a big possibility that our ancient human ancestors may have encountered the massive great apes more than once. I do not want to be that. You know, walking down the forest and suddenly seeing a 3-meter tall.
If you don't like what you see, put a bag over your head.
Hey, boy.
Good. I'm the jump master.
Pixie, that's how it's. It's a trashy thing. If you had sorts and words to your sorority party, stop doing the thing. Don't do that. Hey, boys.
They don't know everything, but me, that's how I found you.
The short.
Enough lambing around. We dropping.
Great ape? That would have been really scary. Yeah. Hopefully in the future, the researchers are able to uncover more about this mysteriously enormous species, and I'm very excited to learn more about them. Go to my sponsored link, aura.com/historywithkaylee in the description down below to get a 14-day free trial and see if your personal information has been compromised. So what do you think of the latest revelations surrounding Gigantopithecus blacki? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed watching, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these kind of videos. And click that bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I upload. If you haven't seen my previous videos yet, then click the card in the upper right corner or click one of the links in the description down below, or click a video in the end card. And I would like to say a massive thank you to all my patrons and my channel members. Channel member comments are the ones that I will respond to for the foreseeable future, so feel free for my channel members to leave a comment and I'll make sure to, respond to you. I've put my settings in a way that I can only see your comments, which is good. And yeah, with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.
Particle accelerators, machines that use electromagnetic fields to speed up charged particles.
I'm Dutch and I like my G's to like growl. My name is Kaylee and
Growl.
in this video I'm going to talk.
About 50% of my viewers are from outside America, and a few of you guys asked me to explain American football in the upcoming championship game, also known as the Super Bowl. Now, I am a marginal football fan. I'll watch the Baltimore Ravens if they're on, but I won't go out of my way. For those of you who are watching the Super Bowl in Europe, you might have no idea what's actually going on. So we have about 5 minutes or so to explain the basics of American football, which is one of the most popular sports in the United States with millions of fans, and it passes through all political spectrums. The main culmination of this sport is the Super Bowl, which is played every February between the two championships of each of the National Football League's conferences. American football is played on a 100-yard-long rectangular field with goalposts at each end. The objective is to score points by getting a ball into the opposing team's end zone. And there are a couple ways to do this, but the two methods you see more often is carrying or catching the ball in the opponent's end zone, or by kicking the ball through the goalpost. The game is divided into 4 15-minute quarters, and each team has 4 attempts or downs to advance the ball 10 yards. If they succeed, they get another set of downs. Fail, and the other team gets possession of the ball. Now, let's meet the players. There are 11 players on each football team's side. Each team has an offense and a defense. The offense aims to move the ball down the field while the defense tries to stop them. There are a number of different positions as well, but let me give you the basics. On the offense, we start with the quarterback. He is sort of like the general of the offense. He calls the plays and throws or hands off the ball. This is the offensive line. Their job is to protect the quarterback. The rest of these guys are the receivers. It's their job to catch the ball and run with it, depending on the type of play being executed. On the defense, we start with the defensive linemen. They're sometimes called rushers. Their job is to break through the offensive line and stop plays by tackling either the quarterback or one of the receivers. In addition to the offense and the defense, there's also a third type of unit on the field during kicking plays called special teams. You'll see these guys at the beginning of a kickoff or during an extra point attempt after a touchdown, but I'll get to scoring in a second. Of course, no sport is without rules, and American football is no exception. Penalties are called for rule violations. They can result in yards being gained or lost, affecting the game's outcome. You'll often know that there's a penalty when you see a referee throw a penalty flag. This is most often called for holding because in football, if the player doesn't have the ball, you aren't allowed to grab the other player with your hand. The offender's team typically gets a 10-yard penalty. Now on to scoring. If you catch or carry the ball into the end zone, that is a touchdown and worth 6 points. After you score a touchdown, you have an option. You can either kick the ball through the goalpost for 1 additional point, or you can attempt a 2-point conversion by re-advancing the ball into the opponent's end zone from the 2-yard line. That is the most common way of scoring. Alternatively, teams can score 3 points by kicking a field goal through the goalposts at varying distances. And finally, there is a fourth way of scoring 2 points. This can only be done by the defense, and that's by tackling an offensive player who has the ball in the offensive team number. Now, the Super Bowl has always been popular, but in 1984, Apple Computer created a commercial that was only run once and essentially became famous for its artistry and the introduction of the Mac computer. This had the effect of companies saving parts of their marketing budget to create funny or memorable commercials just for the Super Bowl. In fact, today, some people only watch the Super Bowl for the commercials. So that's American football. And there's one more tradition I want to talk about. That's the fly. Aircraft from the United States Armed Forces typically fly over a football game on the last note of the national anthem. If you want to learn how they coordinate this, the video on that will be available at the end of this. Hey, if you want to support the channel, look into getting one of my landmine hoodies.
Hello, are you okay?
Bunker branding. I even wear mine. I love this landmine t-shirt. Thank you for watching.
Evo shield here.
Oh man, I'm so bored. Price on freshers with a permanent profile. That's because you have the wrong course. You need a Ryan McBeth in action figure from the Knife Hand Company. That's right, Ryan McBeth in action figures go everywhere. Put them on your desk, your Crocs, your keychain. You can even ask Brian advice. Brian, why does Daddy ignore me when I'm over his house for the weekend? Because your new mommy is way hotter than your old mommy. Trading cards. You get a free trading card in every box. Now that's Brian Griffin. So come on down to the Knife Hand Company and get your in-action figure today. Alcoholism, cigarettes, and non-service-connected hearing loss, sold separately.
Here about price to performance, we'll be using 20 gigabits per second at most, and then in fact, Micron doesn't even plan to go above 18 gigabits per second because, well, they'll just tell their customers, build something that uses GDDR6X if you want something faster, which, by the way, this explains the relatively slow speeds, I believe, for the GDDR6 and the PS5 Pro that others and I myself have leaked. You see, if you're Sony and all you care about basically is price to performance for your product that you're going to sell at cost, then you're going to want to make sure your console uses memory that all the major memory manufacturers can produce so that you can bid all of them against each other, and if one of them's cheaper one month, get the best pricing. And so that basically meant that the fastest Sony could go is 18 gigabits per second. And any ultra budget products out of AMD are probably actually going to go for 18 gigabits per second as well. So I wouldn't even assume that all of RDNA 4 will use 20 gigabits per second. And yeah, there is basically a race to just support GDDR7 because that's the one that will actually be ready in about a year. And so everyone's pretty much not even really pushing Samsung to get the fastest stuff out in the performance either, because by the time they would, we'll be on GDDR7 anyways. So yeah, that's what's going on with the memory. What about the release date of RDNA 4? I know that I sounded flaky in that earlier release slide. Well, let me explain to you now why. I'm just going to explain it to you by saying these quotes I'm about to put on screen, all of them are from some of my best sources. All of them I've spoken to for years, and all of them are part of some of my most legendary leaks, and they just don't really agree with each other. So if we put these quotes on screen, source number one tells me that technically all this person can confirm on their end is how the driver development for RDNA 4 is going, but it is going very well. And based on that, it is well ahead of where RDNA 3 was at this point of the year when it came out. So at a minimum, this person expects that AMD could announce or tease RDNA 4 at Computex and then release it in quarter 3. And this person was surprised when I pushed back on them from what the other people were saying. Like source number 2, who said at a minimum, Navi 48 will be ready to launch the notebooks by quarter 1 of 2025. Even 2024 sounds likely. Heck, this person can even see AMD maybe pulling off a quarter 3 launch, although this person thinks it will be a late quarter 3 launch of desktop case AMD really wanted to rush everything out. However, this person seems to mostly be expecting a mid, I don't know, quarter 4 launch or something because there doesn't seem to be any emphasis at AMD to rush RDNA 4 out. They don't sound rushed at all.
And then source number 3 told me, all I will say is that we
Where do you want to go in from, the left or
don't
the
have
right?
any mandate to get this thing out the door in 2024. Don't misunderstand me. We can launch this year if we want to. But as far as we are aware, NVIDIA is only
Did you really see someone?
the RTX 5090 this year for an absurd price, which will compete, of course, then with the 8800 XT. And
I mean,
then
there's
the
people
RTX
there. I think we should go in
5070,
from the
which
right.
will be now the 4810 competitor, most likely.
Unless we're
That's
going
not
into
gonna
a
launch in
fight.
2025
Let's just go
and
move
RDNA3
in.
is currently selling very well. And so, unfortunately, this
Let's
is a
break this
situation
down to
where
a couple teams
multiple
and then
of my
work them
sources do
over.
not entirely agree. So I just wanted to show you the quotes exactly to make it clear why there would be any flakiness out of this channel about RDNA4's real estate. But, you know, my reading between the lines on this one, now that you've seen the raw information, let me tell you what I think of it. I just don't think AMD is rushed at all. You know, NVIDIA is not going to really have any cheaper options in the price range RDNA4 is targeting this year, and RDNA3 is selling very well so far. And AMD isn't going for top-end performance, so the second RDNA4 comes out, it will cannibalize all existing RDNA3 products, and then if NVIDIA is not going to compete, there's no reason to launch anytime soon. And I understand why AMD then would probably be loosely targeting, I don't know, maybe Q4 or Q1 2025, and then if they can sell through RDNA3 early, yeah, maybe they'll activate it to come out sooner rather than later. But unless that happens, they have no reason to do so. But alright, so that gets me to the final thing to talk about here, and that is, should you hashtag wait for RDNA4? Honestly, I think there's a lot of good deals out there right now. And if you can get a really good deal, I don't think you need to necessarily wait if you're really eager to get a new graphics card. Like, if you're somebody who's using, I don't know, an RTX 2070 or a 5700 XT, and there's a lot of games you want to play this summer, then I think getting like a 7800 XT for below 490, or getting a 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte for close to 400 if you can find one of those crazy lightning deals, or a 7900 XT for below 700, I don't think you're going to regret it, right? Like, worst case scenario, you'll be, if you got a 7900 XT for like $700 or something, you will have been gaming all summer before RDNA4 comes out with less VRAM than the card that you have. Yeah, it might be $100, maybe $200 cheaper, but your card will still have had more RAM, and you would have still been gaming all
Bunch of them up top
so
on that hill. All of them
dumb
across
to
the way as
find
well.
out if it's a good deal. But, you know,
Straight east, straight west.
like, you have a 6800 XT and all your games still run fine.
I got my
you
own.
should definitely wait. I mean, in all honesty, what I would compare RDNA4, so you should buy now or wait for it to, is the RDNA1. Like, if you're someone who saw a Radeon 7 for $600, you weren't dumb if you bought that like half a year before the 5700 XT came out. The Radeon 7, even after the 5700 XT came out, performed a bit better. It doesn't anymore, unfortunately, but it, you know, it did perform better, and it did have a lot more VRAM, and it did have uses like for non-gaming tasks that the 5700 XT wasn't as good at. So I can see an argument for getting some of the lower high-end or mid-range cards right now if they're at a bargain. But only if they're at a bargain, and only if you want it now, because, well, I did mention the 5700 XT and Radeon 7. Basically, the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to use something very close to the architecture in RDNA 4. And I do believe that
4 teams left. Let's make this happen.
Very, very well. Just like Polaris and the RX 480 aged incredibly well next to the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So, I will say that. If you can wait, if you're happy with what you got, wait. You know, RDNA4 will, compared to current high-end cards, cost quite a bit less, use less energy, have better ray tracing, have more modern features, and probably age really well as one of those bedrock backbone architectures that AMD supports for a very long time. It's just, it's not like if you bought a 2080 Ti for $1,300 right before they dropped in price because the 3070 was announced or something. And even after scalper prices, the 2080 Ti never went back up to what you would have just paid. So it's not one of those situations. It's more of an RDNA 1 after Radeon 7 situation right now, not a insanity RDNA 2 Ampere situation where the price performance of it is just massive compared to the previous generation. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video then. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like it, remember to share it. Sharing this video
helps so much. And the comments for the algorithm talk about this with people below. But then also make sure that you're subscribing to more jobs that YouTube channel and then that all that. Don't miss out on the top. I do have more RDNA 4 stuff coming. And of course, putting together a Blackwell leak. Frankly, you could argue there's some Blackwell leaks inside of today's information. You're not going to want to miss that, nor all the stuff that I have to say about upstream better architecture soon. And, you know, if you really do love the channel, the best way to support it is to join us on Patreon. Just $2 will get you access to the Discord. People that want to have polite conversations with you about what you think about upcoming products, and you'll also get access to hundreds of bonus pieces of content that have no ads in them, like Side Shrink. One just came out today, actually looking at the GPU and console economics. If you want to make sure to check out the first hour-long video without ads, and keep putting them out for our because frankly, there are reasons it's easy to just put content out on
I have our companion's
else.
banner.
But yeah, anyway, so no matter what, if you made it this far, thank you for watching.
2 squads of hooligans remain. Show them skill.
Not mercy. Companions, we're not far from the ring and have 10 seconds.
I'm getting shot at. Deploying head drone. Recharging my shields.
When you look back at your life and see how much tech news you absorbed through these, do you think you'll have any regrets? Because now's the time to do something about it. Okay, we're doing it. Google is wisely rebranding both its Bard chatbot and Duet AI for its workspace as Gemini, the name of the language model most strongly remembered for its heinously deceptive demo. Good choice. But the tech giant says you shouldn't be surprised if Gemini still refers to itself as Bard for once, presumably because it's inherited its creator's proclivity for bull. But the new Gemini powered by the flagship Gemini Ultra 1.0 model might do a bit better. Early impressions seem to broadly agree that Gemini is indeed a chatbot, but one that is noticeably worse than GPT-4. YouTuber AI Explained found out the jailbreaks, cited as one reason for Gemini's delayed rollout, still work, although fellow creator Fireship thought Gemini was better at Bukowski-inspired coding. So, I don't know, maybe it's just a more artsy chatbot. You just need to kind of, like, sound like a Gemini Advanced can be accessed through the new Google One AI Premium subscription for $20 a month. The same price as ChatGPT Plus, but at least Google's plan also gives you the standard Google One benefits and Gemini integration into Gmail and Drive. But the most interesting part of this story might be that Gemini can replace Google Assistant on Android with a pop-up overlay that can read what's on your screen and connect to Google's other services. If you have the new app, which is only available in the US right now, not here in Canada. Even worse, Americans can install 2 Gemini apps, since the chatbot's also available in the regular Assistant app. There's not many of us up here, Google. Just ship the extras.
It's alright, we got Timmies, that's good enough.
The Timbits are always there. Sony, the parent company of anime streaming platforms Funimation and Crunchyroll, and a few other companies, is merging those 2 services together, and in so doing, deleting digital copies of content users purchased from Funimation. The move follows multiple instances of Sony removing content that users had purchased from the PlayStation Store, like a kid sneaking the Brussels sprouts his mom just bought into the garbage. Now, some of the codes for these digital copies were included with physical Blu-rays or DVDs of anime dubbed and released by Funimation, so customers may still have access to their content if they didn't lose the discs. But Funimation had promised access to customers' digital copies forever, and if I thought that was true, why would I keep the discs instead of using them as eyes for my Halloween robot costume? Think, Sony! Or Frisbees. To add insult to injury, the new service formed by Funimation and Crunchyroll's merger, called Crunchyroll, is getting a $20 price hike to $100 per year. For what? The privilege of having Sony steal my vegetables? Where am I going to get my nutrients? Instagram and Meta's Twitter competitor Threads will no longer proactively recommend political content, because toxic social media discourse should be centered around which AI-generated influencer is hotter, and more importantly, which of their fake dogs is cute. The 2 platforms are following in the footsteps of Facebook, which had already minimized the prevalence of political content in its newsfeed and reels. If you still somehow manage to stumble onto a politics-related Instagram or Threads account, you can follow it and see the divisive partisan tripe it posts in your feed if you're some kind of masochistic sicko. And creators who specialize in said tripe and are concerned with the new rules maybe affecting their engagement can check whether that's happening under account status in their profile settings. Threads and Instagram boss Adam Mosseri said back when the Twitter-like first launched that the platform would specifically not prioritize news content. So this isn't coming completely out of left field, but I can't help but wonder if the solution to social media's measurably negative effect on mental health is something other than sealing your platform off into an even tighter bubble. It's gonna burst.
And then all of the moms and aunts are gonna shoot up.
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Manscaped. If you're feeling a little overgrown in your danger zone, trim your hedges the easy way with Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0. Its trimmer blade and foil blade are interchangeable, letting you choose from Buzzcut Bald or Sir Patrick Stewart Smooth. Lawnmower 5.0 even has an LED light, so you don't get lost on your quest to rediscover El Dorado. Plus, with its portability and convenient USB-C charging, you can whack your weeds anywhere you might be. But please check your local laws first. Check out the Lawnmower 5.0 at manscaped.com/techlink and use code TECHLINK for 20% off and free shipping. I always wondered what a quick bit was? It's me. It's me. CableMod issued a voluntary recall of its angled adapters for NVIDIA graphics cards back in December, but now the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has made it official. It turns out that the male connector can become loose and overheat, resulting in melting and potentially fire. Note that while all angled adapters are affected, angled cables are fine. Stick them wherever you like, champ. Okay. The failure rate of these cables is only estimated to be 1.07%, but they've also caused around $75,000 in damage so far. They're NVIDIA graphics cards, and they're on fire. It adds up fast. The FCC has officially deemed unsolicited robocalls using AI-generated voices illegal under existing law, specifically the 1991 Telephone Consumer Protection Act. The decision means that the FCC will now be able to fine anyone who tries to contact you about your car's extended warranty in the sultry tone of Frank Sinatra. And that sucks. This will also give attorneys general additional options to prosecute telemarketers that violate these regulations, as well as scammers that pretend to be your recently kidnapped grandson who desperately needs you to buy him $3,000 in Best Buy gift cards. Although that could be real nice. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is seeking up to $7 trillion in investment to increase the world's chip building capacity and solve AI chip scarcity. Marketing pitch for this. A real steal for just 13 times last year's global chip sales. Altman is talking to
I can't get you. I'm gonna crash you guys because that was just turn. I don't know what just happened, but it turned into chaos.
Partners to try and achieve In more humble news, NVIDIA has created a new business unit to tackle the $30 billion custom AI chip market. Known as the only AI chip market NVIDIA hasn't cornered yet. I'm sure things will change when Sam Altman raises enough money to buy Apple twice.
And we'll be able to give Vision Pros to all the children.
They'll scan their eyeballs and give them crypto. Brilliant Labs, a tech startup from former Apple executive Bobak Avangar, that's what we're going with, has launched Frame, open source smart glasses that pair with their AI-powered Noah app. While the spectacles can answer many questions, based on their design, most users will simply ask for the location of the nearest craft brewery, or for the date of the next Decemberists concert. Included with the glasses is something called Mr. Power, which is actually a mobile charger and not, I had assumed, the name of male enhancement pills you could buy at a gas station. And we've gotten a teaser of what Lenovo has in store for the Mobile World Congress this year. An invisible laptop. Well, not invisible, just see-through, so depending on what you're watching, you can really horrify everybody else's coffee shop. The display is fully transparent with no visible bezel to speak of, so you can really appreciate the handprints on both the front and the back of your screen. Don't worry about making eye contact with anybody through the display, though, because You'll just be too busy trying to find these stupid, non-corporeal buttons on its stupid glass touch keyboard. Wow. Lenovo, why? You're better than this. And so are you. So bring your fully corporeal self back on Monday for some more tech news.
And welcome to the WAN Show! We have got a great show lined up for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the Apple Vision Pro. Luke will be having his first hands-on experience with it. I've got it in my backpack.
Beautiful.
So we're going to see your beautiful eyes.
It'll be yours.
Yeah.
It'll be...
Don't worry, they're blue for some reason.
Perfect.
We're also going to be talking about the Canadian government who did something spectacularly either stupid or awesome, depending on your perspective.
Sure.
I mean, someone obviously thinks it's awesome, otherwise they wouldn't have done it. What else we got today? Did I take yours again?
Yeah. You stopped for 1 week, and now it's gone. There was one. Yeah, deepfake scam boosts $25 million.
For those of you who are new to English, especially young people English, boosts means steals.
Steals, yeah.
What else you got?
That was absolutely wild. Also, I don't know, I'll pick this one. Funimation libraries to be deleted, which is bad.
That's a bummer.
That means initial D.
I'm surprised you didn't take Florida Man. Kids off social media.
That just sounds like a good idea.
Don't worry, I got a squad mate's banner.
The show is brought to you by Grammarly, AG1, and UPDF. Why don't we jump right into our headline topic, which is, of course, nothing. We named the show after
your face.
My face being actually. Oh, I guess we should talk about that.
Yeah, that is a topic.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah. How did you not take that one? I left you the juiciest. I was all.
I guess, and you were like, usually you always take the headliner, and you skipped it. And I didn't even realize it was still available. But yeah, it was. It totally was.
So, have I told you why?
No.
Oh, great. Okay.
I was, if I remember correctly, I was actually legitimately waiting for the show to ask.
Dan, do you know why?
Life works now.
I think I had it spoiled for me, yeah. Okay, then don't say anything. Let's let Luke guess. We can let chat help you because they don't know. So anything they say is just complete profound ignorance.
Can I give Luke a hint? No, I haven't even get. You can maybe eventually, but not before I've even started.
Well, that's disrespectful. Does he have a very hintable face?
Do I a very hintable face?
Looks like he needs hints.
Oh man. My first initial reaction was
on a strong brow furrow.
my first initial reaction was that it might have been something to do with needing to have a mask or something, because you can't with beards. Okay.
No, right now it's like that.
I want to give my hint. A lot of firefighters have mustaches.
I want to give my hint. Oh.
Because the mask can...
I thought it was just so they could get rides.
Only 30 seconds remain.
I mean, they probably do that a lot, but no, the mask can go along the outside of your face and you can still have a mustache because it doesn't have to stick.
Thought it makes sense.
Just got tired of it. Yvonne, what does Yvonne think?
I don't think you can ask questions. I think you can just ask reasons.
Did Yvonne suggest it?
No.
Okay. Were you just tired of it?
Nope.
Were you curious to see what it looked like?
Nope.
It's been too long.
It's been 3 long.
3 long? 3 years?
That was a COVID video. I know, right?
It feels, the whole COVID timeline thing is ruined my brain. No, it's not Apple Vision Pro today. No.
Apple Vision Pro is totally ski goggles, and this is totally neck liner.
Yeah. All right, Dan, give my hintable face some information.
You know how we were talking about Linus's force?
You guys are gonna get trapped behind that wall if you didn't move.
That is true. Okay.
How are you gonna make it out?
Very similar reasons to why he modified his windshield wipers. Okay, I can kind of see where you're going with this, but I don't think that's going to help him very much.
I didn't say it was a good hint, but I thought you might find that funny. It was like the cheaper way of doing something, but how does that make any sense?
Line is good. Line is good.
Kill leader. Just another insect.
I love this. There's thousands of people experiencing this. And only 2 of them get the joke right now.
I feel special. Yeah, I feel special.
Yeah, you're special boy.
Can I get another hint? I'm trying to think of like what calling.
I might as well just tell you. There's absolutely no way you're ever going to get it.
Okay.
So I booked a hydrofacial.
I have no idea what that is.
It's basically just like a skin treatment for your face.
Water on your face?
No.
Is it waterboarding?
No, it's definitely not waterboarding.
Okay.
So I got a hydrofacial, and
Sure.
I contacted them ahead of time. I was like, so like, how does it work with the hair? And they were like, well, it obviously doesn't work anywhere where you have facial hair. And I was like, okay, well, is the price different? And they're like, no, the price is the same. And I was like, okay, so the price is the same regardless of how much fancy you need.
How to get my value. I respect that. Yeah, I respect that. Are you gonna grow it back?
You know what? I didn't get my value though, because what I realized after I shaved it was, even though I had intended to do it anyway, I could have gotten D-Brand to pay like an enormous amount of money to have me shave my beard on land show or something.
Especially if you left mustache for a certain period.
So stupid. I can't believe.
Where the fuck did I even get shot from?
Kind of that was / is kind of surprising to me, and one of the most like based takes I've seen so far was our own Mark Rathburger. I realize I've never said his last name out loud.
Yeah, that's right. He gets that a lot. I know. I think he's probably told me that, but he gets that all the time.
I knew it grew up with something like that, so my brain just defaulted to it. Anyways, he said, if this is real, why wasn't it sponsored?
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's a fair take.
I'm actually very surprised.
It's a fair take
that you didn't combine those two things, because the one is like, you know what, I'm gonna get my full value out of this. Totally understand.
Yep.
But I'm surprised that your brain didn't also go, not only will I get full value, but I will now make money.
Yeah, I mean, we could have upgraded some workstations or whatever, you know. It was a miss. Okay, speaking of misses. No, just kidding. Let's talk about the Apple Vision Pro.
No. What she think?
She
liked the beard, didn't she?
She likes the look of the beard, but definitely prefers the snuggleability of not a beard. So for her, it's kind of, I think it's like a 55% beard, 45% not beard.
Got it.
But now that the beard has been a thing for a while, and she's going back to not the beard.
Kind of fun for a bit?
No.
Oh.
No, not even a little. I think it's, when we went from this to that, it was like, oh yeah, the beard looks a little better. Now that we go from beard to this, it's like, so you're going it back, right?
Sorry, are you growing it back then?
Yeah, but not yet.
Oh.
Soon.
Why not yet?
Because the hydrofacial is just a lead up for like a pokey thing that they're gonna do. Sure. Yeah, so it's like some pokey thing. It's supposed to it's supposed to stimulate like collagen production or something like that. Like basically, I'm looking at it going, okay, I'm almost 40. I'm not into like, oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of fillers and a nose job or whatever else. But from a certain point of view, I have like never done anything other than just rub soap on my face.
I'm just gonna run this out.
And I'm looking at it going, okay, so this is kind of like being 40 and never having gone to the dentist. It's like, yeah, I brush my teeth, but like so I'm like, okay, you know what? A little bit of maintenance. I'm going for it. So I've got a couple things, and then I'm gonna grow my facial hair back and cover it all up. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
I can't even make a dash for it, dude. There's nothing I can do right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys are gonna see it here first, guys. Raw impression.
I'm like kind of nervous. I don't know why.
Well, because if your take on it is wrong, then you're going to have people calling you an idiot. And if your take on it is right, then you're going to have the other half of people calling you an idiot.
Yeah.
Because this is an extremely divisive product.
Yeah.
Okay, so first up.
It's an extremely divisive device.
Here it is. The Apple Vision Professional.
Professional.
Not to be confused with the regular Apple. Are you going to take it?
Oh, yeah.
Not to be confused with the regular Apple Vision.
Is this just one size for everybody?
Okay. So you do a facial scan thing, but your nose kind of shape coming out of your face is like pretty not that far off mine. I suspect this thing will probably be mostly okay for you. Maybe a little bit on the small side, because I'm like a small medium helmet. And I think you're more like a large.
But whatever the I don't remember the brand
Oh, really? So the Eclipse Screen Beyond. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Then you'll probably be
wondering about the control.
So that has a dial.
Oh,
yep. So you just play around with the dial, and once you turn it on, it's basically turn on.
One more coming out of the storm.
So it's got the protective cover on the side, protective back, and you pop that off.
Material-wise, feels.
Scrappy DP says, anti.
Really? Okay, there's two options for the headband. There's
The
also
headband
this
doesn't feel
one.
not premium, to be clear.
There's one that has a top,
There's the
a top strap as well.
diaper
Yeah.
band.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a diaper band, but sure. Yeah.
They could have made that one look a lot better. They clearly want you to use this one.
Yeah, I can see that perspective.
There's like no promo material of that, I don't think.
Yeah, that's
This
fair.
is the one in all of it.
That's fair. Yep, that's
they,
fair.
They could have done a better job with that one.
Okay.
I can. It's gonna feel front heavy.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the weight of the battery pack?
That's fine. It can be in a pocket or something, right? Like I'm not really worried about that. I think.
Yep. What do you think of the fixed cable?
It's not only sort of fixed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's one length though.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna keep it today.
Yeah.
It's a jumbo lightning, so it's.
I mean, that's not great.
For all intents and purposes today. Yeah.
I would like to be able to have different lengths of cable. Sure. You got some grease on those lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Go try it on now?
Go for it.
I keep the cover on?
I have long eyelashes. It's actually a problem for me. Is my eyelashes just coat the inside of any VR headset that I use with like grease.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna want to loosen that a touch. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna take off the front cover?
Sure.
Also, I mean, any impressions on the? Yeah. So that's how the pieces come apart. Oh, you're gonna show. The people, you're just gonna hold it under the desk.
So
Yeah,
I
good
tried
job.
to take off the front cover by gripping this portion and pulling both sides, and then this came out, and I was very temporarily.
Don't forget about the other piece that comes off of that.
Oh, wow.
So that piece also comes off of the assembly that you just disconnected.
I don't need that though, right?
No, that's just, this is the not thicker one. This is the thinner version of the face.
Can we try again? There we go.
Here we go. That right there is a man who's going skiing.
This is less comfortable than I expected, to be honest.
Well, remember too, the face thing is not, your size.
Do these parts rest on your face?
It depends. So if I use that band, it pulls in hard on my forehead.
Yeah, me too.
And if I use the other band, it hangs
All right,
hard
mates.
on my
We could try
cheeks.
here or die
Okay.
somewhere
It's
else.
like
No
barely
pressure.
even touching my cheeks. All of it is right on my forehead.
Remember to take all of this
It's not
for,
scanned.
for what it is.
Yeah.
Luke didn't do a facial scan. This
Yeah.
is not the correct size for him.
Yeah, it's not.
However, I will say that one of my bits of feedback is going to be that I find the comfort of it extremely difficult to deal with.
It's definitely a lot more front heavy than other VR devices I've used.
Is it on yet?
No.
Okay, hold the button on the left, on the top. Top left. There should be a button, hold it down. That's the right. Good job. Okay, did it fire up? No. I hope I don't die. You found the button, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not turning on. Okay. One moment, please.
You can just plug the battery pack into something, right? I think.
Oh yeah. It's no problem. That's no problem. We got a solution. The solution. Yeah. That's where the cable goes.
So it goes like they're trying to get it around your ear.
I guess.
It doesn't actually go around my ear.
Yeah. I don't have that problem, but that's interesting feedback.
Yeah, it like touches right at the top.
The bigger issue for me, and a lot of this is just going to be stuff that I'm going to talk about in the review. All right, you should be able to turn it on now. It's charging now.
Okay. Wow, this whole everything on the forehead thing is not great.
The bigger issue for me is that on both straps, the attachment mechanism here. I'm just going to go to Linus Cam here. The attachment mechanism is an ovular shape. You can see that it's an oval, and what that means is that there is absolutely zero play whatsoever. So if you're the kind of person who goes, oh yeah, you know, I really prefer to wear a back ponytail instead of a nape ponytail or a high ponytail, I would really like to adjust this to sit, you know, more this way or more this. No, you get to not do that. So if you look at the way that Luke's wearing it right now, Luke, can you turn to the side a little bit? If he was like, oh, I would really strongly prefer, you know, to have this kind of more up here, the answer is no. Apple says no.
The crap blue vest. Think of Apple saying no, it won't turn on.
Still?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely charging. Here, can I borrow it for a sec? Maybe this is just user error.
I feel like I heard someone coming from over here.
Instructions.
Yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
What's happening?
So convenient.
I literally said there was people coming up on us, and
Right.
a second later I got shot.
For me?
Sure.
Well, then I'm not gonna stay there if that's cool. I'm gonna go get you guys up somewhere else. You guys are gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna just... Unless you can get his card, and then I'll fucking grab him right here.
And I was a little bit surprised by that, and now I am no longer surprised at all. For me,
I don't even want to be this. I want to be Lifeline. I'm a Lifeline. I don't know how I got this.
Yeah, not surprised. It's not scanned for my face at all. This is probably not useful information, like straight up. But no weight at all.
Team game, that's
anywhere
all.
other than just my forehead, and all the way to the devices in the front. So the entire weight of the device would be sitting right there. Where the other stuff? I could.
The bigger issue for me is that my choices. So the reason you probably saw it so red on my forehead was because I was wearing it really tight, and the reason for that is if I wear it at a reasonable tightness, it just mashes the bridge of my nose. So this is actually the point where it's most uncomfortable.
So you're cranking on
same thing with you, like Divine Run.
This is not turning on for me either. The light is red. It's usually green. So I guess it
needs a minimum charge.
Yeah, maybe it needs a minimum charge level, which I find a little bit surprising.
Have you spent time with this? Should we swap straps?
I have spent time with that. Like I was saying earlier, it basically takes the load off of here.
I guess that's where I gotta go to get you up.
And it also just kind of feels like it's gonna come flying forward on me because I would wear it farther back. I would wear it more like back here instead of like here and here instead of right here and right here.
Yeah.
It's like it's not deep enough.
Yeah, this band seems. Yeah, I'm not surprised that's the one they put in all the promo footage. That seems kind
of... Well, this is not working. This is...
Cool, anticlimactic.
Yeah, this was supposed to be our first topic of the week. I guess we're gonna have to pivot to another topic. This is
we just come back.
Sure, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Alright, good luck, buddy. Wanna pick one?
Probably the other button, people are saying? Yeah, okay. Sure. Okay. Apparently there is a Google Doc of people reacting to you shaving, and we're supposed to react to that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know about this. Okay.
Shave memes. There's a segment. If you scroll down, there's a section called segment.
Okay.
Reactions to Linus's new face.
All right. I guess we'll just screen share for this. Okay. We're going full screen?
But keeping focus.
Sure.
You slideshow button?
There we go.
Okay, I saw this.
That skipped way in. That's the 7th.
Picked up my teammate's banner.
Yes. Classic. Not bad. Okay. Yeah, that's foul. That's foul. What?
I don't understand the opera one, considering he has a beard.
Opera GX? Okay.
We're covering up the caption. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Besser's on it. He's on the case.
Champion eliminated.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
They're all the way
So
over
you're
there,
just
but I
gonna
don't want
move
to
around
fuck
on the
with that.
fly. Okay. Yeah. Hard to see your packet in CIX. Love it. By the way, this
Pretty
PC
good.
turned out amazing.
Is it still having problems?
Nope.
Nice.
Nope, it's running perfect now.
Nice.
I think it ended up just being a motherboard issue or like PCIe riser plug unplug. It's fine now. Yeah, it's 100% rock solid now.
That's awesome.
Runs cool. Yeah, it's amazing.
My favorite one.
That's valid. But you shaving brought the world together. Okay, I saw this.
Yeah.
Get the
what
fuck
the-
out,
Community
mama.
post
Get the
on
fuck out,
YouTube.
mama. I'm gonna try to get back
And
to it.
I was like, oh, this must be a new meme format that's popping off right now.
It's actually an extremely old meme format that is only partially related.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna send this to the social team. I was like, okay, yeah, we should probably find something to like piggyback on top of this, and then I forgot, and that's good because then I would have looked at it. Yeah, as a citizen of basically anything. This is amazing.
We want the thing and then pass it on and
Oh man. Okay.
Very good.
That's actually
Updated
pretty
line
good.
liners.
That's actually pretty good.
Nice.
Oh no. Okay. I really don't think I'm gonna go blonde again. What? What? Do it. What? Wait a minute. Why are you being so aggressive right now?
You dyeing your hair blonde and wearing polo shirts
Come on.
would be.
I'm not coming to that. I'm sorry. I'm
Wild
getting the
throwback.
fuck out. I'll have to fucking do the same thing I just did.
Camera and then do an
Motherfucker, I
LTG.
can't do shit whenever you leave,
What is
bro.
this?
Well, no shit, but what was I gonna do? I was trying to get that dude up.
We can't hear it.
Sound on it?
I barely know how to play
Worried
this
about the guy
bit.
that's still
You should be
alive
able to hear that,
before
man.
resin the other guy. Yeah, you should have helped him fight. But it's too late for me now.
Then we will all be dead.
Okay. Yeah. Like a daddy with that beard. Except I don't have a girlfriend.
Another rampart. No, I'm getting
That's all
trolled.
you do.
She insulted me. But yeah, play with a teammate that's still alive. Don't worry about
Thank
getting
you
res.
again for
I
that.
completely forgot about that. But
I
that's pretty funny.
can't.
Wow.
He's up to
I'm just
it.
saying,
I
I'm
tried
just
getting
saying, next
him.
time, yeah.
The
I'm
one
just
time I
saying,
tried
don't worry
getting
about it.
him,
Hey,
I got
don't worry
nothing
about
to
it. Just
take
next
anything
time,
he
worry
says
about
seriously.
helping your
Oh,
teammate
come
that's
on,
still
I'm
alive.
still a serious
Close to
person.
getting like the revive.
Oh, come on.
Whenever I try going up to him, I got beamed, so I had to leave him.
Okay, alright. Thank you for that. This must have been the social team. Okay.
That's pretty funny.
Let's see if the Apple Vision Pro is working. There's an accelerometer in the battery bank, and it's supposed
Really?
to it's supposed to light up when you move it, but it's not doing it right now.
It seems like
Picked
a
up some
more
materials.
expensive solution to the just like press the button to check method.
Yeah. Also, I mean, did I mention this battery bank is just useless unless you happen to want to power a Vision Pro because just Apple things?
Isn't it also like not that big?
I don't know.
Setting a
It's 3166
Go
milliamp
right
hours.
to the crowd.
placed.
Yeah, like wait, what?
Yo, what?
It's over
right.
under it's whatever the provisioning is where
There
there's
is
more
no
capacity in
crafting
here
right
than
here
what
to the
they
right.
If you keep
display
going
by
right, then
about 20%, I think it was.
Even
And I think the idea there is that they really don't want this thing
I'm
to
gonna have to
just
go through that. Those
be
people to
used
get there.
every day, be charged
Well, what
multiple
else you
times a
gotta do?
day.
You're
I'm
so
gonna try to
Yeah,
avoid
full
them and then
charge,
get there
and then
somehow.
have it just like dying in a year. No,
the
they would
odds
like
of
it to
you
take at
getting the
least a few
win
years.
without your teammate
because that's how Apple rolls. By then they'll have something better.
I'm not even trying to get to when I'm trying to get somewhere to get you up. Are you? What's wrong with you
Super
people?
random voltage. Like it's something they absolutely could have done with PD. 13 volts. It's one of those things where it's like I'm sure there's some reason that it runs at 13 volts. But I'm also sure that they could have found a way to make it not run at 13 volts and run at like a standard USB PD voltage as well.
So is it working now? Or?
I don't know. Okay.
1 minute.
Keep running interference.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Run no interference. All right. Luke will be experiencing the Apple Vision Pro for. Oh yeah, sorry.
45 and 20.
Right, the battery thing's already annoying. You kind of get used to it. I feel like you would.
I'm so over this thing.
Oh.
I can't wait until I'm finished my review and I can just put it back in the box or like give it to Horse to cover on back.
Taking shots.
I'm over it.
Oh my goodness.
There are things that I love about it, and I mean that with a capital L, love. But there are things about it that just make it the kind of thing that I love the idea of, and I don't need to have on my face.
Like, one thing to explain my problem, and again, I want to say it again, this one is not face scan for me. To make it so that the face shield thing is actually touching my face, I can make that happen by pulling it completely off. And figuring out, like, I can see Linus right now through the device. Like,
That's weird. Are you sure that's clicked on properly? It's magnetic. Oh yeah, there you go.
That's why I'm
taking
it off.
Yeah, so the problem you have is the same one I have then. Like, okay, without the headband on, could you make the whole thing go against your face by changing the angle?
Almost certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I don't fucking play that bitch, you dumb fuck. You took my lifeline.
I need to have the headband on, like, the upper crown of me. That's really
okay.
weird.
So are you good now then?
Yeah, that's way better.
Oh, okay, cool.
It just has to be, like, way up here.
I can't move it enough for it to be comfortable because it doesn't rotate. It's not swivelable.
I genuinely this fixed pretty much everything. It's very uncomfortable on the back of my head. I don't like it being up here. It feels like it's gonna slip off.
Yep.
But it's now resting on my face. I'm way better.
I have the exact same problem with this one. It feels like it's gonna come off at any moment.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's more comfortable than that bend for me.
Oh yeah, this is immeasurably better.
Okay. So is it prompting you for a pin or anything?
It
or
wants me to press this button to align.
Okay, yeah, hold it. Yeah, press and hold. Motorized IPD adjustment. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Is it motorized?
Wow,
Really?
Whoa! What the heck is it up to right there?
How's that pass through?
Wow, that's weird.
Pretty good, huh?
That is actually really good. Can you toss me something?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'll toss you. I'll toss you a prototype LCD sock.
I worked for it.
Yeah, no problem. On the short circuit, D-Brand bet me that I couldn't dodge all the things that Bell threw at me. So if I'm indicating all the bajillion things that I have to sign into, it's a ton of work for me to switch phones, and I had intended to switch over to the Fairphone, so for that review, man, I put in the work so that I wouldn't have to carry my Note 9 with me at all. With the LG Wing, I carried the Note 9 for like 2FA. I didn't really use it, but I knew I wasn't seriously switching to the LG Wing. I made myself use it, but I didn't put my whole life on it. With the Fairphone 5, I did. I was like, I am switching to this phone. They're going to support this thing for 7 years or whatever it is. So this will be like, even if I move on to another phone after this will be the one that'll like have all my stuff, like that social media or that messaging app that I only use to communicate with people I play badminton with in Taiwan. Like, I'm gonna install that one on there and migrate all my messages over and all this tedious crap. I don't like going through that, so upgrading phones for me is actually a hassle. Maybe part of it is just like PTSD from doing it so many times. Back when I would be reviewing a different phone every month or two. Like, I think a lot of people were like, oh, I'm so lucky, you get to use new phones all the time. I freaking hated it. It sucks. It's so annoying.
It's not a good experience.
No, it actually sucks. So I gave up on it and I switched to the Note 9, so it has my whole life on it. And I did that with the Fairphone 5, and it ended up being a complete fucking waste of time because, spoiler alert, is this a Fairphone 5?
1 minute till close. First blood, good thing
Yeah.
it's not us.
I'm done the review.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'll switch to something else at some point. I would consider an S24 Ultra. I just, nothing has stung to me. I like the folding phones, so that was cool. I switched to the Fold 3. Actually, Dan, I still owe you that Fold 3. I need to get my pictures off of it, and then as far as I'm concerned, you can do whatever you want with it. I told him if he fixed it, then he could use it. I've just been really slow. Sorry, Dan. It's sitting on my desk at home.
You don't have to. I mean, I hate all phones now because you ruined the last one that I loved.
Well, Dan, that's no. That's not the way it works. Once I say something, then I have to. It's not up to you to decide if I have to.
Okay.
I have said I'm doing it, therefore.
All right.
I'll do it.
I just don't want you to feel forced by social convention.
No, I'm forced by me. I'm forced by because I said I was going to do something. Very, very simple. To me, a verbal contract's a contract. Anywho, the point is that I just don't like doing it. And to me, the 3 extra seconds, or actually on this thing in some cases, 30 extra seconds that I might wait for an app to install on the rare occasion that I bother to install an app on my phone is just not worth the trade-off of the 3 hours that I'm going to spend migrating everything and then the occasional, 3 to 30 minutes that it's going to cost me down the road when I realize there was something I missed and I need to go back and deal with it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about picking up a fucking level 2 vest.
Hello, Wan, Woof, or Winus. Does floatplane give you any interesting statistics with YouTube? For example, are there any similarities or differences for video retention? Original floatplane invoice 314.
Yeah, Luke. Tell me, what kind of analytics does floatplane provide, and how do they compare to the YouTube analytics?
Very fantastic. We have the best. My friends tell me that we have the best analytics.
Yeah, so that's how you know it was the biggest lie of the
We have basically none. There's certain things that we can ask AJ to manually pull up, or ask Jonathan to manually pull up, but there's pretty much nothing. I don't think it's. They don't use Firefox. Yeah, like there's stuff we can check.
We have nothing. We don't even know how many views we're getting.
I know AJ's here. We can guess, but like it's basically all guessing. So it's just
yeah, YouTube's guessing. They just have the best guessing.
They are extremely good at it. But like that's taken a lot of effort. So
we would have to have an entire team that is much larger than the entire floatplane team that just did that if we wanted to even approach.
I mean we could get pretty accurate probably, but like ad blockers block a lot of stuff that aren't ads, and a lot of you guys run ad blockers, so it makes certain things unnecessarily hard.
Be clear, when you're on floatplane running an ad blocker, you don't care. There's no ads on floatplane. It actually has zero impact other than that analytics.
All that
we do care though. Because there's more than just like views analytics that we can't capture. We also can't. It also muddies the waters of capturing a lot of other things.
Like, well, what would they care about though?
I have to go back over it again. Oh, what would they care about? No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just affects us and our ability to know how the site's being used, to see how well
plan infrastructure and like. Okay,
it's been a long time since I've had this conversation, so I might be saying things that are slightly off.
You guys, what do you mean, oh my god, you left me over there?
You didn't say you were pushing a fight.
You saw me. You saw me go, and then you just... You're right, 3-on-1. I'm sorry I died, 3-on-1.
And then you just died. There was no indication, hey, I'm...
I literally got fried from the start by 3 people.
You didn't even make a ping.
Yes, because as soon as they were on me, I died.
You're mad at me because you died.
No, I'm mad at you because you weren't anywhere near me. Because you weren't anywhere near me.
Okay. QS info for ISPs.
You saw me. You go. You're ziplining.
You can't figure out routing problems. Like it's super.
Nope.
But again, I get it. It's true. Yeah.
Holy shit!
If you're someone like
fucking
Google,
man.
you can
wear
find
your headset
workarounds,
for
you can do various things, you can improve it.
My headset doesn't even have a mic on it, you
Your
loser.
headset
Not
sucks.
bother?
Then
Yes.
get a new fucking headset.
It's a fucking Corsair Virtuoso. You're an idiot.
Love it.
Fuck your Corsair headset.
You have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
I paid fucking $40
Final Fantasy Tactics. You should play it.
on
Yes.
Amazon.
If you had to choose
Yeah,
Final
that.
Fantasy
Do you know what mic I'm using right now? That's not because of the fucking headset. You fucking loser. No, it's actually the game. It's not the operator error. Go check the. Oh my God! You have no idea what you're talking about. I've gone through this many times. How come it sounds fine on my stream? How come it sounds fine in any other game or on Discord? You have no idea what you're talking about. It's literally Apex Legends. I don't know about my own mic. I haven't investigated the situation extensively. Okay, yeah. What are you talking about, dude? I figured this out long ago.
But you asked me, so I guess
That's fair.
It can be a me reason.
That's legit.
If I got like a real reimagining of 6, I think, then would I like hate it because it's not what I like and remember? No, I think I would love to hear Tara's story retold. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
Odd question about the business side. As you build out your merchandise for sale, how do you figure out the...
Wait, hold on, I'm not done with that yet though. Have you played any more 6?
Oh, sorry. No, but I probably will be this weekend.
All right, forget it. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead. Sorry, I haven't said anything.
Odd question about the business side. As you build out your merchandise for sale, how do you figure out the design, labor, handling costs behind the product itself so to stay profitable?
Until Taryn joined, we just didn't. we eyeballed it.
That's on brand. See, this is why we have to take away their Excel, because they're not even using it.
Yeah. There are people who use it, Dan. We knew approximately what our handling was from our 3PL because we know how much we pay them every month and we know how many orders they handled, but we don't know a lot of the fine details around especially like product development costs. Like I have no idea. Yvonne might know how much we spend on samples for clothing, for example. I doubt it. Like she could maybe look it up. It would be somewhat challenging. Nick says we didn't eyeball everything. The only thing we didn't factor was OPEX on a per unit basis. I am pretty sure that there are other things that we did not fully map out. But I know that we knew. Okay, so just to be clear, we weren't completely flying blind.
I have no idea.
I know what our we knew what our incoming costs were approximately for like shipping and handling.
Okay.
But here's something that we just had no idea about was what our returns were costing. We were just like, we think it's like within this range. And it was somewhere pretty close to that range once we drilled into it a bit more, but there were clearly some things that were just like, oh yeah, we kind of were kicking the can down the road. And like, in fairness to the team, I'm not throwing them under the bus. They were busy building new products and growing the revenue and figuring out how to keep up with shipments. And there were some things that fell through the cracks. There's some stuff that we've definitely got to clean up now, though. And so that's what we're working on.
Hey, hi DLL. If AI becomes proficient at extracting benchmark benchmark detail from videos through speech or image recognition, would that change your lab's data plan and use it in LVD videos?
No, at this point, we really want people to have the data, and so we're still full steam ahead with testing and publishing data. Whether the full suite will be available to non-paid accounts, things like that, that's TBD. Like how we publish it is to be determined, but we want to test it, we want to publish it.
Hey, DLL, cable management when? But more importantly, what are your thoughts on digital identity, SSI, self-sovereign identity, to combat AI impersonation?
I mean,
Reno roulette.
I think Luke and I have talked about that a fair bit on the show today. I just don't think
Yeah.
that.
Oh wait, let me take a screenshot.
Everyone waits for me.
The only real solution is a decentralized one.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. AI identity on the blockchain, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
We don't have to roulette. This is calm.
Web3's back, boys.
Hell yeah. Cable management, though, very
You
soon
started
speaking
it.
of the team being hard at work on things. It's a surprisingly complicated product for us to bring to market. It's not the kind of thing that I think is obvious to someone who's never tried to launch a product before. But you can't just sell cable arch at price, because back to the question of handling costs. That the handling cost of cable arch would make
Guys,
it
pick,
completely
it's calm.
unsustainable for us to sell at a price.
No,
that
no, no.
would make
Don't
any
pick,
sense
don't
for
pick, don't
you.
pick.
So
You
we
don't
have
lock
to
in, it'll
make
lock in for us.
bundles
It'll lock in all.
of cable arch,
Bruh.
or bundles of multiple different cable
It won't-
arches in configurations that maybe make
No
sense. We have
fun.
to find a way to communicate that. We have to find a way to
And I've
market
never-
it. We have to find a way to present all of that on the website. Oh,
We're running into a problem there.
oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of options, and like visually explaining what it is, and also having all the options and then making it so that all the option combinations are not confusing. And
I haven't played
all of
Killjoy
that
before.
all
We'll
at
see how this
once
goes.
It's a lot right now. Yeah.
I've never played
I
Rainbow.
don't think we have a fantastic
Only
current
6
solution,
times.
but we are working on it. How to
Reina's
combine,
very simple.
bunch of
Dismiss
people,
and heal, and basically
and
just a shooter
there's some good
character.
ideas people are bringing out, and we're gonna try to figure it out.
Because you have to get killed, you have to be
I won't do that.
All of that left is potentials. Luke, there's a lot in here for you.
Sick.
Oh wow, it's just Luke for days. I'm gonna go get some more snackies.
Okay.
I should have prompted you to how to read through these.
Mark
wanna
spike
mark
when you
some
plant
first?
it, so I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
throw a swarm grenade.
Just give me a second here. Oh, I'm very
Turret out.
confused.
Blocking vision.
My turret's watching flank.
I don't understand how it starts, but I'll field the question anyways.
Planet.
Oh,
Placing alarm bot.
LDL is a
Placing
chemical.
swarm grenade.
I think. Maybe. Yeah.
Sure.
We'll start with this one. Whatever. Luke, how do you select data centers for floatplane? I just started looking into co-location, and there are so many
Flanking?
options at wildly varying price points.
Gecko flanking.
Enemy
This is
spotted.
a
B.
much better question for AJ if you're in full playing chat. AJ.
Watch with me, Sid.
But my thing that I'll add on is a
Diffusing?
frustrating
One enemy remaining.
task that I've given AJ over the years is that,
Swarm grenade out.
you know,
Nice.
we don't have a VC budget, so things need to be pretty cheap.
It's
So
15.
generally it's been like, what's the cheapest possible way to
Feels
get this
bad
thing?
to kill their brimstone.
And then we use a
I mean,
lot
I
of
will.
OVH.
Just
We're
feels bad.
fairly in their kind of like ecosystem at this point, and they're really.
I'm surprised to hear you talking about that. You're usually so cagey about
OVH?
what sort of services we use and what specifically we use them for.
For certain things, yeah, but OVH.
If you guys know any like turret
Yeah,
placements, just let me know.
you used to not want to acknowledge it, so.
Oh, yeah. I think I've always been pretty open about OVH.
Typically, you were just like, don't give them anything.
Turret out.
Yeah,
Feeling
that
safe.
sounds like me.
Obscuring vision.
But yeah, OVH we use and we use a lot, and it's been pretty good for us. There's been times where there's been bumps in the road, but
Come back
like
to me, I can hear you.
But OVH, if you wanted to sponsor us and the reads were just, we talk about our experience, overall,
really good,
it'd be pretty chill.
really good and really cheap, like very cost effective for what we get. And honestly, talking to other people that are in other data centers and being in other data centers sometimes ourselves as well, there's bumps in the road everywhere. So like, I don't know.
We've had some doozies.
Yeah,
Found
but
them.
like,
Can't use this
down
yet.
not that long.
Swarm grenade out.
One
It's
enemy
gone down,
remaining. Teams was a disaster 2 weeks ago.
Teams was like, Rick, this happens to everybody. So it kind of just is what it is. Overall, the uptime through OVH has been super good.
Killjoy is actually crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, OVH has been good. It's been a proven good strategy the entire time we've been there. That was an AJ
What?
thing from back in the day, and a Jake thing, actually. Both of them. So,
Sorry, can you say that
we've sort
again?
of stuck there, and then we've also worked with other ones. Yeah. Hi, bad cholesterol, LDL, low density lipoprotein. Question for Luke. Have you heard or tried the Skyrim companion mod?
Next
where
round we go
NPCs
A.
talk conversationally
Hopefully.
with you? I have heard of it. They all sound like AI, so I am not interested. Luke, Outlook lets you have different email handles for the same account and chooses which ones can be used for login. Isn't only using handles that can't be used for login the most secure system? I think that is super cool. I didn't actually know that. That's neat. I feel like you could do the same thing with Google.
Enemy down.
I'm not sure though. I know you can do the plus alias thing, which is super cool, but I don't know if you
Flank.
can completely change it. I think you can. I know you
Gecko
can
coming
to
here,
a certain
flank.
degree,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you can use it in that exact way.
One enemy remaining.
And I know you can to a certain
Nice.
degree because I have that. So if you only emailed out of one that wasn't the core login,
What it looks
I feel like that would work. So yeah,
I need a
think so.
drop.
I think it works on both,
Thanks.
and I think that is.
I got you. Oh
Yeah,
wait,
AJ saying
we
you
go
have
A, we go
primary
A.
domain
You're gonna
ID
expect
and
B again.
Your email is different. Yeah, so that seems like a good idea.
Need a drop.
Sage, keep Irene.
Wanda.dlo. Question for Linus.
Yeah, I'm smoking a bowl, sorry.
Enthusiast, bullish on
You're chilling,
the
you're chilling.
replacement use case is the immersed visor on your horizon.
I'm just making some noise over here right now.
1/3 the weight and cost.
Reloading.
This is the first
Let's
time
move.
hearing of it. It sounds pretty cool. It looks like what they have.
We're
They
there.
have apps for.
Oh, there's the engagement.
I don't know, like why. What do you like? Is this just a link to Apple's website? Yeah. Interesting. It's on my radar now.
Neat. Last two potentials.
Embarrassing. My ult ready.
One
One enemy remaining.
Look, I'll trade this one.
Sure. Luke.
For you.
You come across and
Ah,
a lot of
Omen
and
behind,
recent
like, the wall
purchases that
thing
sealed the
with
deal
an
for
Odin.
you when it came to athletic greens.
Nice. Grab me the Odin. I'll buy someone a Vandal.
Do you want me to?
I absolve you of any responsibility
Oh, wait, it's not
for
Odin.
getting the sponsorship cancelled.
Okay,
It's the
cool.
least
That's good. Uh-oh.
Damn.
I need a
I'm just
drop.
going to talk
Thanks.
completely candidly, but I think it's mostly good stuff, to be honest, so it should be okay. I gained a ton of weight over COVID. I was not eating very good things, and I was extremely inactive. When actually
You
before
sure?
that was kind of over, I hit a certain point where I was like, all right, I need to figure this out. So I started getting a lot more active, and I started eating a lot better. But one of the ways that I started eating better was I started eating
problem,
very
no problem.
regimented, and I started eating a lot of the same things all the time. And by restricting my diet to a certain degree, I wasn't getting as much of a range of different things. So I was worried about not having good nutrient coverage, essentially. I looked into a bunch of different solutions. I tried a few different solutions. I think
Literal solutions.
Yeah, actually. I think AG1 doesn't taste
Bro,
too
how? One
bad.
away on Brim.
Bro,
what?
Wow, what a
Last player standing.
I'm not
Spike
like Dennis.
down
I don't
B.
think it tastes like pineapple and vanilla or whatever he says. I don't get that at all, but it tastes alright.
Where is it between pineapple and ass?
That's right.
Pineapple and vanilla, I think is what he said. Probably somewhere in the middle. Like I don't think it tastes great, but I also have had a bunch of other ones.
You
that I
heard it
think
here,
taste
folks.
great.
It's got a half-ass taste.
How did I do that?
I've had ones that are a lot worse, so like I wouldn't want to dog on it for its taste. And Dennis isn't the only person that I know that has mentioned pineapple specifically, and he's not the only person that I know that think it tastes legitimately good. So I like actually don't want to dog on it for its taste. Yeah, and
Mid to B.
anything that is in the supplement realm is just super. It's an interesting area. I don't really want to mess with it.
Obscuring vision.
AG1 seems to be
Brim and mid.
as far as I can tell. They seem to be pretty legit, and I go with it for that reason.
Spike down, B.
There's less people saying that there's
Last player
there's
standing.
alternatives that are cheaper. When I was listening to those, I would often find
That's true.
how the way that they did something or whatever is not
What's
up to
more into
whatever. I don't know.
I'm
There's a lot
not
of stuff that I
tired.
don't
Are
understand
you?
enough about, and it seemed
Where do you guys want to go? A?
more legit.
I have
more
ult,
trustworthy
so
to
if we
me.
can take site
I
somewhat
don't know.
quickly,
I'm not
I
saying
can
that you
pop
should
ult so we can
take
plant
my
it pretty
research
fast.
and go, "Oh, just get it then." This is not part of the ad at
Or
all.
slow
I
push.
have no idea. I'm not an expert on this. I know nothing. But it seemed legit, and I understand it was a bunch more money. But it's I'm a little sketched out by supplementation in general. But it's something that I did want to do. So
Hiram,
went
they're
with that
stomping?
one because it seemed the safest. I don't know. That's it.
Oh, never mind. That was Astra.
And last one up here, got my
Bro.
framework.
Spike down A.
I'm loving it. Do you have any updated thoughts on future GPU upgrades for the now 16, for the new 16 coming out? P.S. Unpopular opinion.
Yo, run away, grab Spike and use ult. Use ult, grab
so
Spike and use
I
ult,
don't
and
have
go
any
to
updated
B site.
thoughts other than that hopefully framework
Astra,
can find
throw
partners
your
who
Spike.
continue
He's
to
gonna go to
develop
B site.
and we will get some choice.
One enemy
Nice.
remaining.
I mean, hopefully we just get some choices.
Just plant and play the 3-on-1.
Plant here. Plant here. Plant here.
Stay with him. Stay with him while he plants.
Bye.
God, these fucking kids.
Are windshield wipers
Just
a
hold Spike.
scam? In a lot of ways, they really are. But I'm going to show you how you can save loads of cash the next time you start seeing those dreaded streaks on your windshield. Stay tuned to the end where I'll show 2 bonus tips to save you even more. First off, streaks,
Nice.
automatically mean you need to replace your wipers. I was watching a video from my friend Chris over at Silver Symbol where he teaches us about the power of WD-40 to clean the blades of your windshield wipers. While we usually consider this a fix for hinges and squeaks, Chris suggests using WD-40 on an inside-out sock or a microfiber cloth to remove dirt, debris, tar, sap, and more from your wiper blades, since that might be the root of the problem. Now this method tends to be totally free because it uses 2 things that we typically have around the house already. He also recommends regularly giving your windshield a
I'm gonna
self
pop ult
thorough
almost
cleaning,
instantly
since
so we
dirty
can
glass
grab site
often
pretty
contributes
fast.
to the buildup of streak-causing debris on the wipers themselves. Going right along with this, one of our bonus tips at the end addresses the idea that you might not need to replace the blades at all. Real quick, while you're watching that, I wanted to let you know I'm in year 13 of doing DIY YouTube videos to try to help people do things themselves. But my goal right now
In there,
is 1 million subscribers. Post and I will get there and you can help me. Feel free to check out my subscribe button. Once we hit 1 million, I'll be giving away products, I'll be giving away videos, and I'll be giving away tabs. Thank you so much. As you can see here, you might need to go over this process multiple times to get it all the way through. I've seen products like these before that claim they can be used to actually trim the rubber on your
One enemy
and
remaining.
fresh and clean edge on them. The concept is pretty simple. Over time,
Flank,
the blade
86,
develops
86.
these little
Flank.
nicks and breaks that cause the streaking on the
Cutting
windshield.
through.
In order for the wipers to work effectively, there needs to be one smooth and uninterrupted edge dragging along your windshield. No nicks or bumps
Reloading.
means no streaks.
Stand
There are a
tall.
bunch of these
We
wiper
are
blade trimmers
Valorant.
out there, but
We
the
are
reviews,
Someone buy me.
they are not so great. However, I did start noticing a little
Thank you.
pattern or a little trend in the reviews. A lot of folks were saying that the bad reviews are from people who are just doing it wrong. You have to do the whole blade in one clean swipe in order for it to work. So I bought
Omen
several
loves
of
to
these
flank,
cats
so we
to
can
try out
just,
myself.
I don't
Now
know.
these blade trimmers only cost around $6 at the cheap side and up to about $20. And the cool part is that they have 2 cutting depths. So ideally you can trim each blade twice before having to replace the wiper. Theoretically that means that you could pay as little as $6 for one of these tools and make one set of blades last 3 times as long instead of having to buy 3 sets of windshield wiper blades. Let's try it out and see how it works.
You're done.
Don't forget to check out our DIY gear and our DIY guides using the links in the description below.
Careful here.
There we go. It's not bad. It's...
You're on top of it.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Bro. How many times do I have to hit him?
Okay, timeout. Little interruption here because I've been doing further testing after using these trimmers on the wiper blades and being a little more thorough about it in terms of its actual real-world application. I don't know if I can recommend these. They do help.
You have res?
Kind of put a fresh.
I know, but I gotta get to someone to do that.
Do that good of a job.
I know, I was just letting you know you had ult.
And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
30 seconds left.
But I think some of the reviews were pretty accurate. It just still leaves a few streaks here and there, and it's definitely not my top recommendation. I'm going to mostly recommend that you use the third method that we're going to cover here. Every once in a while, I get a chance to work with a sponsor that I've already known and used for a long time and would recommend anyways. And that's the case today with our sponsor,
10 seconds
BetterHelp.
left.
My wife and my son have used BetterHelp a couple of times over the years to help them through tough situations. Basically, what BetterHelp is, it's a really comfortable and kind of low-risk option for
You want me to take the
therapy. You can talk
chance?
to their network of over 30,000
Yeah, you can check this one.
therapists, and they'll match you once you fill out a questionnaire. Typically, it's going to take maybe around 48 hours to get you matched up with someone that's a great fit for you, which is awesome. So in most cases, it's really quick to work that out. The other cool thing is it's on your terms. You can meet with them over the phone, you can meet with them with a video chat, or you can even message them in order to have your therapy that way, whatever's most convenient for you. And another really cool feature that a lot of people like about BetterHelp is that every once in a while, you find someone who you just decide is not a great fit as your therapist. So you can actually switch therapists with a click of a button. So I'm grateful to have a sponsor like BetterHelp that's doing their best to help us do our best. To join the over 4 million people who have used BetterHelp to start living a healthier and happier life, you can click the link BetterHelp.com/learn-to-DIY. Clicking that link helps support this channel, and it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. So you can.
What happened to our Astra?
And now back to those pesky windshield wipers. The third method is to use what are called wiper refills. They're basically these little rubber replacement sleeves, and I didn't realize until I started digging into this, you can actually just type in wiper refills for most years, makes, and models on your car to find not only an OEM version, there's right from the manufacturer like Honda, Toyota, Ford, whatever it may be, but you can also usually get just a cheap replacement one, and I thought I would test one of these out. In fact, I tested this out about 14 months ago on my daily driving. And what I found is it only took me about 5 minutes to do this. It cost me $2.38. So between the two,
last player standing.
Less than $5 total investment, and that was 14 months ago. This is the car I drive every single day, and it's working perfectly even today. I live in Utah, snow, ice,
that was good.
the scorching dry heat, we get all
That was
of that.
impossible.
And
They're coming
the wiper blades are held up beautifully.
Yeah,
for
from
5
right,
bucks.
from forward, and
The
from
crazy part
behind. I was
about
like,
this
well.
is if I were to buy the original or OEM replacement windshield wipers from Tesla, they want $70 plus tax for that. $75 as opposed to under 5. It's a crazy deal. Now the one downside is I did order these from AliExpress. Now whether you like AliExpress or not, I thought I'd take a gamble and see, and with that you have to wait until who knows when for them to actually ship the thing. I swear they give it to a guy in a rowboat
Go
across
80,
the
'cause he's gonna
ocean,
put another
and
one.
maybe 4 or 5 weeks later it might show up. So there's a little fun in kind of wondering when that thing's going to arrive. But I've got some good news for you there. You don't actually have to wait weeks to get these because you can pick them up right on Amazon for between $7 and $9 for a 4-pack. They're actually even less expensive than the ones I bought over on AliExpress. These are only $1.75 per wiper, and they show up in just a day or two depending on where you live. So I bought some of these so I can show you how easy it is to replace these. You can do a quick search online to find out what length blade you need for your year, make, and model of car, or just buy the 20 meters like I did here. You can cut these with a pair of scissors. It's super easy to work with and trim to length. Now, if you do want to get the OEM or the original equipment manufacturer, then you can actually just type in, for example, Honda 2004, whatever it is, and original wiper refill, and you're likely going to find
down
you can buy these directly from the manufacturer.
Motherfucker!
They're going to cost more than the third-party ones, but they're also going to cost way less than buying new wipers. I can't in one video really make a guided tutorial for all the different types of wiper blades out there, so what I'd recommend is when you purchase these, you disassemble it really carefully and slowly, pay attention to how things were assembled in the first place, and then reassemble with your new wiper.
One enemy remaining.
Most of the time, this is going to be really easy, and if for some reason it doesn't
last
happen,
player
behind me,
get it, then you're out $5. You could also check beforehand, doing a little disassembly, a little homework, to make sure that it works before you buy those wiper refills. I
promised you 2 bonus tips, and I've got those for you now. So you're all familiar with this
That's
stuff,
my
right?
bad.
The windshield wiper fluid that we put in our
I
vehicles.
should've.
Well, these
I didn't
typically
realize
cost
he was there.
about $4 for a gallon. Not too bad, and that's the basic stuff. If you want to get the Rain-X version, or if you want to get the bug repellent,
Last
or
round
the
before the
anti-freeze
switch.
stuff,
Let's
that
go.
costs a little bit
Let's
more,
go.
of
I have
course.
my
What
ult.
if I told you you could get this for 7 cents? Legit 7 cents. That's how much it costs. So, right here is a packet of 100 tablets that I found on Amazon. I've tested these out. This is pretty cool stuff. Think of it as a little Alka-Seltzer for your windshield wiper tank. So, let's say you run out of this guy right here. Once you're done, you drop one of these guys in, fill it up with water, let it wait for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you've got a gallon of windshield wiper fluid for 7 cents. That's pretty awesome. The other option is you can actually do the same thing right
Someone's
in the
gonna be
reservoir
there
within
behind
your
that thing.
vehicle. You drop one in when it's empty, fill it up with water, wait 15 to 20 minutes, and you're good to use it. That's pretty cool. And my favorite part about that is that you can take these little tablets and just keep
Back
them
off.
in your glove box or in your cart, and that way if you run out while you're on the go,
Last player standing.
Bro.
Spike down A.
For bonus tip number 2, I bet you're familiar with time to jump. And my favorite part about that is that you can take these little tablets and just keep maybe 5 or 6 of these in your plug, and that way if you run out while you're on the go, just drop them in, have some water. You probably got some water in your car anyway, and you've got that kind of emergency kit there for you just in case you need it. For bonus tip number 2, I bet you're familiar with this stuff. This is called Rain-X. It's a windshield water repellent. And you can use it on all different surfaces actually, but this repellent basically you apply it onto your windshield, and then it helps the water to bead up, and then it just kind of
Switching
rolls off your
sides.
windshield. This is pretty ideal because it kind of keeps your windshield clean so that you really don't need to use the windshield wipers quite as often, which is awesome. Now this has been around for decades. This is the OG water repellent right here, but I watched a really cool video by Carcraft Auto Detailing, and he put a torture test on a windshield. He tested out 6 different water repellents on there, and one of the ones I was most impressed with was this little bottle right here. This is called Nexzet, and I'm going to run the test for you, half the windshield and half unapplied, and show you the results on screen here so you can see what a difference it makes. Now the reason I like this one over Rain-X is because this one lasted way longer than Rain-X and most of the competition. It's a pretty small bottle and it goes a long ways. You can do multiple applications with one bottle. It's a little on the pricey side. It's about $30 for this little bottle, but it's the kind of thing you get once and then you can use this for really many applications on multiple cards, which is really cool. Oh my gosh, no. Not sure how well this will come out, but got the Nexzet on the windscreen here, on the windshield, and it's awesome. I don't have the wipers on, the rain is coming down pretty good, and I can see everything crystal clear, because everything's just beating right off, especially when you're going over about 30 miles an hour. And that's pretty awesome. Not using the wipers.
Here. One enemy remaining. Team A.
So be sure to check that out if you're interested. And I always try to set up a nice little Amazon link in the description below so that you can see
They
all
don't
of the
have a
products that I'm
single
showing
life
here.
worth saving.
And you'll see all of those in one place. I'll take you right to it. You pick which one you want to add to your cart, and off you go. So obviously you can save a few bucks with little products like these that go a long way. I'm all about saving money. In fact, one time I tried to paint my teenager's car for $178, and I got to say, it was pretty successful. It looked really good, and it lasted really well. You can check that video out right over here. Again, help us to get to that 1 million subs. If you can, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully we'll get there sooner than later. I appreciate everyone who's doing that. I'm Nils with Learn to DIY. Thanks for watching.
I bought the Apple Vision Pro, have been using it basically non-stop for an entire week, and I don't regret it. And more importantly, I think I'm gonna keep it. You see, I've always been interested in the latest things that are happening in the VR, AR space. I've been doing videos on VR setups since
Spike down
2016.
A.
There's a video on the channel of me hitting things in VR.
Spike is A.
I've had the Oculus Rift DK2, CV1,
Oh, in the smoke.
Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift
Oh my
X,
body.
Oculus Quest 2, and now the Oculus Quest 3. I've had a whole manner of
got timing.
HTC Vive stuff. I've also checked out augmented reality glasses. And I bought the Apple Vision Pro fully anticipating
One enemy remaining.
Ooh! That was diabolical. Get his ace, get your ace, get your ace, your.
Spike planted.
Guys, don't kill him, don't kill him, let yours get his ace. Nice!
Boy, was I
Defuse,
wrong.
defuse.
Not only did the Apple
Nice,
Vision
good
Pro
stuff.
give me that unique experience that I didn't think I was going to get.
Yeah.
But it's also the first of
No
like
problem.
the AR, mixed reality, virtual reality space, where I went back not just for gaming and having fun, but also for work. I've spent multiple hours in this thing every single day since I've got it, and I have the desire to go back to it every single day after. And the original plan for this video was for me to go through the most disappointing things about the Apple Vision Pro. So I'm still going to keep that structure. This is going to be the 5 deal breakers of the Apple Vision Pro, but structured with the idea that every single thing the Apple Vision Pro does wrong, it also gets a whole lot right. So the biggest deal breaker that I was never going to address is the price. This thing is very expensive, and it is not going to be worth it for the average consumer. $3,500 is a ridiculous amount to spend for something that you are uncertain of its future, uncertain of what Apple is going to take this, and it doesn't deliver on ways for you to either get $3,500 of value out of it, or allow you to make $3,500 work. It's not going to be worth it to you. But also, $3,500 in the VR space.
Wrong person. What the
It's
fuck?
more expensive now because Meta has done a good job of bringing the Quest pricing down. But I'm from back in the day where you had to get a developer kit, Oculus Rift, and then also have to have a PC that was VR capable. It wasn't just the headset was a standalone device, it was also the PC you had to use.
Spike planted.
And also back when they were trying to do VR backpacks, which were thousands of dollars in and of themselves. So if you're an average consumer, the price is going to scare you. If you're a VR enthusiast, you've been around and is trying to make sure that you keep pace with all of this, the price, honestly, is just...
Last player standing.
40 on him.
I wanted to dislike this thing, and I wanted to send it back. So let's get
Safe hit
into
for
my
40.
first deal breaker
Your heel's ready.
with the Apple Vision Pro, and that is the nighttime performance is bad. One of the things that I desire to have this for, videos that I've done on this channel, are trying to create bed setups where I can game in bed while my wife consumes content and I do my own thing. And sometimes that involves my wife falls asleep before me, but I want to continue playing whatever I'm playing. So the lights go off, and unfortunately, in no light environments, this thing performs pretty badly. Tracking is lost very easily. It cannot keep track of your hands, despite the fact that it has IR sensors that are supposed to be able to do that. Many, many times when only a hallway light was on, it would tell me that tracking failed and that I was unable to continue to use it even while in bed. I was hoping that I would get worse performance at night. Maybe something slows down, it's less reliable. Not, it tells me that tracking failed. It's been a huge bummer that I've been unable to use it in actual dark
Spike
conditions.
down,
I've had
B.
better experience with the Quest 3 in no light environments, and to see the Apple Vision Pro drop the ball here is a big disappointment. But that deal breaker comes with the fact that this thing, in general performance, is way faster. I thought Apple was blowing smoke when they discussed the idea of spatial computing. Didn't want to use the terms augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality. And after spending time with it, I've just come to realize this is a MacBook on your face. They literally mean that you are going to use a computer that you can manipulate in your virtual environment. And everything about that is snappy, precise. As long as you have some light on, even if that's a reading lamp, it is incredible just how intuitive and fast to respond. Just pinch gestures to drag windows and place them where you want. And you can have running all at the same time. If I want to have Steam Link while watching a Twitch video, while reading Discord, while also reading MacBook, while also making
80
sure
on
I can
Omen.
scroll Twitter at some point, and making sure that I have other widgets, gadgets,
Sorry.
open wherever I want. The Apple Vision Pro does not slow down. It just keeps chugging. If you compare that to something like the Quest 3, you are very limited on how many apps you can have open at once, where you can position them, how they can relate to each other. But with the Apple Vision Pro, I can accidentally leave my Discord down here in the office, go upstairs to my bedroom, and just quickly fetch it with a quick pinch. But in case I want to leave certain things in certain areas, like making sure Twitter stays on the toilet, then I can leave it there and it'll stay persistent across many instances. And I've seen people who commute to jobs. They have a station at home, and then when they get back to work, the Apple Vision Pro remembers everything as it was. And I've even seen videos of people who, when they use their standing desk, the apps actually go with the desk because it realizes that's where the app should be and that's what it's being tracked to. The Quest would never. It needs a major software updates in order to support that, and the Vision Pro right out of the box does something really, really impressive. The only things that I would like to see improve with this
Wait, any
are
guns
the
around
software
because
side of things. I would love to have
Sage, you have heal?
workspaces. If I could
No,
create a breakfast workspace that
Alright.
opens up to multiple rooms, gives me the daily weather.
Behind box.
Potentially opens up some of the other readings that I want to do. And then I have a game.
One enemy remaining.
My gaming station opens up my Steam, opens up my Twitch links, and make sure that I'm actually in gaming. And then also a work one, because the thing that the Apple Vision Pro lacks right now is persistence in movement. You can't reset them to the position unless you physically move them back. And based on how good
Good stuff, team.
tracking is on the device, I can see Apple actually implement. And I would also like to be able to have multiple instances of the same app running at the same time, just because, again, of the spatial constraint. I would like to leave something down here in my basement. I would like to leave something in my bedroom. I would like to leave something in my living room, even if it's just our community Discord. You can't do that with the iPad compatible apps. You can have multiple windows of Safari open at the moment, but it seems to be very limited. However, I think this is something Apple can improve upon. All right, that's enough praise. Let's get to my second deal breaker. The field of view on this thing is very frustrating. It's super limited. iFixit's already done a teardown where they reveal it's about 100 degrees field of view. It is very limiting compared to something like the Quest 3. You do feel constrained. It does feel like you're looking through somebody holding binoculars over your eyes. So it feels less immersive and more constrained. And then to add to that, the pass-through of the cameras into your spatial reality.
120.
It all seems dull and
120 on
boring
Gecko.
compared to real life.
Where was
Despite
he?
the fact that the screens can get bright enough.
Yours on him.
It's not the problem of the
Spike
displays
down,
where
B.
they can't actually replicate the light.
One enemy
Every
remaining.
single time you take the Apple Vision Pro off in daylight, you realize, oh wow, it is way brighter out here than I thought it was. And that's even with certain environments that Apple has included. That
Watch his
help you
TP.
kind of
Can't
brighten
use
up
this
the
yet.
internal setup. And pass-through is always high noise, which makes sense because these are small sensors on the camera.
Thank you.
You have to increase that noise. But it is distracting. It's not as bad as the Quest 3. The Quest 3 definitely has higher ISO. But one of the worst things about the Vision Pro is motion blur.
Well, he's got the spike.
You quickly move your head.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Or one of the things
Spike
that I've been
planted.
noticing lately is that if I'm watching my
Let's
TV,
go together.
if I move my head, something happens with the shutter speed on the cameras where my TV
We can
starts to
trade.
flicker, but then as soon as I'm stationary, everything's fine. Just small things like that really break the immersion, make this way more difficult than it has to be. And speaking of immersion, when you get into the immersive environments, one of the very frustrating things there is that you can't see things that you're supposed to be interacting with. My watch does show up because Apple tries to track the hand so I can see what's going on there.
Just,
But
yeah,
if I
nice.
bust out my phone,
No, you were
my
literally,
phone
you
screen
couldn't
is
see
covered.
what you did.
And then on top of that,
Right.
because my face is covered, I can't unlock my phone with my facial recognition, so I have to either type in my passcode, which is arduous, where I have to lift up the headset to unlock it, and then sometimes the headset turns off because it realized we took it off in order to do something else, and Apple prides itself on its ecosystem. To not have this figured out at the very beginning is just frustrating. And so I find myself not fully going into the immersive environments. I keep it a little bit out so that I have like a space right down by my stomach where I can put my phone so that I can read it. Now there are some reports coming out that the latest 1.1 update from Apple for the Vision Pro does improve pass-through, and if that's true, it's just showing that there's software improvements that can be made, which I'm excited for, because the positive side of all of this is that this is the highest fidelity pass-through that I've ever seen. The quality of the displays that are for your eyes is fantastic. It is less noisy than the Quest 3. The resolution looks crisper. It has less noise, even if the colors are muted. It's a really weird mixed bag.
Nice.
Every single time I go back to the Quest 3's pass-through, I'm always disappointed.
Spike
I
planted.
immediately see the pixels. I immediately notice how much worse the display is because it has a third of the pixel density of the Apple Vision Pro. This is incredible.
No!
Actually,
74
really
Omen.
cool experience that you want to see, even if it's through binoculars, even if real life. And it's so good that one of our employees here, Michael, gets so motion.
They're on the other side. Stick it, hit him, stick it, hit him, stick it.
One enemy
Hit him, stick it.
Refuses to touch any other VR.
Oh, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Oh my god, he's gonna die.
Reality and
Now stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it. Oh, stick it, stick it. Oh, too late now. Too late now.
Hi, man.
High quality. In conjunction with reality being close to real through the headset.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Or pick up or stutter like I've seen it.
I was just hoping for the half. Yeah, it
So
is
it's a
calm.
frustrating duality of the Apple Vision Pro. Best pass-through I've
That's
ever
just-
seen, but it has major work to be. it could be way better. Let's get to the third deal breaker. And that is travel mode on this is just trash.
It's 11-8. How did you think it was Swift?
Unfortunately, it's only really rated for airplanes at the current moment. Haven't had to fly anywhere. I haven't fully gotten to experience that. I have heard reports of people who say it's fantastic. I've heard more critical people say that it jitters quite a bit. It shouldn't be moving as much as it is, and it doesn't lock down the space as much as you would want it to.
That go over here?
Which Apple says it's not certified for. I was not driving the vehicle. I had somebody driving me around, but unfortunately, it works okay in a straight line. It is still very jittery. It bounces around, but as soon as you make any sort of turn, all of your apps just disappear. It says tracking failed, and you have to reopen everything.
Gecko hit once.
Being here in the winding hills of Pennsylvania, it makes it very difficult to do any sort of work passenger seat, which is kind of one of the benefits of Apple.
Dang it. Gecko coming from right there. Yeah, to your left.
Having more real estate to actually utilize all of your apps, and when you can't do that with the vehicle, it loses some of its implications. It's so bad in the car that it is the only time that I've experienced motion sickness while using the Apple Vision Pro, because it's trying to keep things steady in travel mode, because if you don't put it in travel mode, nothing works. But when it's trying to keep things steady,
let's win the next two.
Reality also starts to hit you bug out, where I've almost vomited from trying to use travel mode.
We can play retake if needed. Let's just hold B, and then if they're at A, we can retake altogether.
With my 6'2" frame, sitting in the backseat of every vehicle is not necessarily something that I can easily or comfortably do. But that gets me back to the positive of the fact that this thing is one of the best devices out there for having a gigantic screen with multiple elements that you can work on when you're out in public. If you're at a coffee shop, you're not going to have a better experience than just using the Apple Vision Pro. You're going to have so many different things open at once in spatial reality, manipulating them how you want.
Alright, we rotate. I'll anchor it back here just in case, but you guys all rotate.
Experience so many things in public without disturbing the piece, busting out a triple screen laptop, that I wish it was better in other scenarios where you would want to use it in public. And no, I'm not talking about walking
You're realizing they can't get in right now.
Or using it while driving. All of that's stupid. Now, the number 4 deal breaker actually really doesn't have much redemption, and that is this outside screen.
They're here on me over here.
It is so dumb.
I'll send you guys to stay A, and I'll let you know if they come.
Because of how ridiculous this actual outside screen is, and trying to indicate whether you're in immersive mode, whether people can see you. I've tried so many times to make sure that it's reliable, and my eyes don't pop up every single time. And if they do, they're hard to see. The lenticular array that actually is trying to reflect the real world doesn't really work. I get the idea. The idea makes a lot of sense.
Standing behind the wall, just crouched.
When you're looking at them or when you're not. But just unfortunately, with the quality of the display on the outside, it sucks. And then also finding in teardowns that it's actually a laminated glass where the laminations on the front scratch very easily, which is going to be a major problem if you scratch any of the areas near the cameras down here. That's going to be a pricey upgrade. It's just an unfortunate thing where this doesn't have to be see-through. This doesn't have to have a screen. Maybe Apple keeps it to be better in a future iteration, but as it stands now, it is just broken, faulty, and unusable, and I have no regrets of having little googly eyes on it. It's a gimmick of an idea. It provides absolutely no real-world value. The only positive I can make from this is that on the flip side, on my side, when I'm in immersive mode and I try to look at a person and then it dissipates the fog so that I can kind of see them without breaking the rest of the immersion, that's some really good stuff.
Spike down
that makes
A.
it usable, where I can know that people are there trying to talk to me and I can see them, but again, the eyes on the outside just... It is a blown opportunity.
Let's fix it and rotate.
Apple used it so heavily in their marketing, honestly, was deceptive. It's not anywhere close to being as bright, as vivid, and as clear as Apple
Do we still have
did in
Spike?
all of their promotional material. And then let's get to deal breaker number 5.
One enemy remaining.
Basic quality of life things are just missing. Like, not having the ability to pin apps or pin certain things that
I'm coming after the leader.
Time or the battery level of the device. The fact that every single time I have to look up, hit the button to drag down the little system bar, and then that's when I can get the
I think I should be the
battery is
MVP.
incredibly frustrating. Now that's already been fixed within this first week from many different apps. There are utility widgets that I've downloaded and I use because it's such a... When I'm in an immersive environment, I still need to know what time it is for the outside world. It's very ridiculous that Apple does not have a way to kind of pin that. It boggles my mind that some stuff like that just feels like it's very entry level is not there. Additionally, there's a lot of missed opportunities on various...
What? Why wouldn't you let me do that? Why would you let me put a wall out?
Bring my hand up from what I'm doing and click the ground, or
Game is broken.
Tap, then select the apps, and then I can go on to this. A double tap would be great for being able to tap on any of my other things, or being able to blink twice. Any sort
Like
of
we're playing one more round, fellas. Let's go.
Extra helpful, especially in lieu.
No, I don't want to play another round.
Then do something.
How much it help people with physical disabilities if they could use their eyes instead of having to use fine motor control. Now there are still like assistive touch features that Apple does include, so I want to give props to them with that, but very much like...
Okay, there you go. One on your right, one on your right. Oh, didn't get it. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. You got it, you got it. Push him, push him, push him, push him. Where you're gonna get
Tap spike, tap spike. Half it, half it, half it. Just half it. Hold it in half.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
I think it should have faithful functionality.
It was, it was.
There should be more ways of interacting with this device.
It's okay, I vault this round, so let's just end.
And then I'm also kind of frustrated about the fact that you can't install regular Apple.
I'll wait until they plant.
iPad apps.
All four of us should pop
Apple
ult this
Vision apps,
round.
But there are no ways to install just regular MacBook.
That means one of you
apps,
gonna have to
especially
die.
The fact that this is running an M2 chip. This is actually
Yeah, we probably will.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna die first when I go into the
Don't die.
Experience is gonna be buggy.
No, I'm gonna
Don't die. That's all you gotta do is don't die. Go win.
Package, please.
Just don't die.
It's gonna be weird, but I can interact with it with my trackpad.
I'm gonna wait
my
for the
keyboard,
plant and then I'll pop
on my
ult.
MacBook, or I can have my own keyboard and mouse separate, connected via Bluetooth to the computer, and I can deal with the wonkiness myself. Don't support it on your official app
Well, you
store.
can't hear through
That's
Ash's
fine.
thing.
Side loading of apps should exist, and Apple's already
Spike
going
down
to court
A.
with the EU over things like this. To not
Spike
have
is
it
down
on the
A.
Vision Pro just shows that
Let us know if we lose Spike, okay?
None of that matters to them unless they get forced to do
Enemy
it.
spotted
It's just- it's
A.
a very stupid thing that they can't do. But positive that, flip side, day one software, this is so
One
good.
enemy remaining.
It's so intuitive. The finger tapping.
Is Spike on the ground?
makes so much
Saving me,
sense,
he's
being
saving me
able to
just now.
scroll with
Don't die.
being able to flick
I have
things
4
around, being
HP.
able
He
to
just saved me
carry
because he
your
Don't die. I'll come heal you.
close and then actually use it with a finger like it's an iPad, or being able to
Spike
control
planted.
multiple
Oh.
apps together, connecting my MacBook, and then being able to
This is
control
not
just my
good.
MacBook with the keyboard and trackpad that's on here, but then it be able
It's
to
fine,
look
trust.
at Apple Vision apps and control those with the very same trackpad and keyboard. That
Trust in your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, I'll save you.
Someone defused.
Oh,
80 on him, 80 on
He
him.
can't get around. He can't get
Nice.
around.
Waving your hand
Don't have time for that.
move your computer in real physical space with the
Defenders
great tracking
win.
that this device has. It's beyond
I dropped back down, but I still only had
Classic
13.
Rift device, any Vive device I've ever had, and then you
What
have
do I
things like
got? I'm gonna take a break now. What do I
if you
got?
just tell Siri what you want to open and you look in the physical space, it will open that app there. That is just 80. And just within the first week, the ecosystem is being built out. Steam VR is actually being implemented by various different devs. It's already in a testing procedure. There's a lot of good potential for this device. Now that obviously is not a reason to buy it because you can't buy products based on future promises, but as somebody who's been in the VR space since the DK2 on the Oculus Rift, I love seeing things improve like this. The fact that I have a Quest 3 and I'm coming from the DK2, this is a huge jump in performance, in functionality, in software feature sets, and I want to go on that journey with Apple to see what they can build out here. That's the exciting part. It's so good at day one, I'm excited for the future. But it also offers so many things that I can do with it right now that improve my workflow. The fact that I can have a much bigger screen than my 14-inch MacBook without taking up a ton of extra real estate in my physical presence means that I can be more effective at working in different places. I'm not tied down to a desk anymore. I can be outside and get a much better experience than I otherwise would just kind of hunching down at the